Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to Radio Underground. Shit.
All right, Radio Underground, and we are live with Deathery. Now, Deathery, I feel bad that I didn't call you when we did a fucking wrestling show. That was wrong.
Well, I had to work anyway, so, it's no big deal. But, y'all impressed me, though.
Yeah, well, we don't know modern wrestling, though. That was the thing. But we were talking about the Monday Night Wars, which you were watching during the Monday Night Wars. That was like the golden era.
Well, I remember coming over to your grandma's house, and we would sit up and watch all the pay-per-views when they would come on.
Yep.
So you're leeching off your grandma's pay-per-view bill? Is that what you're trying to say?
Pretty much.
That's what I was doing. That's what
Yeah, because I remember you brought up that big Hell in a Cell match, and I remember actually being over at your grandma's house, and we were all watching it live.
Yeah.
So,
you were there, weren't you?
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Is Hell in the Cell where they pretend to be locked in a cage?
Yes.
Okay. Is it where they throw each other on bobby pins, or not bobby pins, but
bobby
thumbtacks?
Bobby pins.
I always assume Gold Dust is there.
Yeah. It's Gold Dust.
Yeah,
right.
Actually, I'm actually passing meeting Gold Dust up because Lexington Comic-Con is the same weekend that I'm actually coming in for the big battle. So
I totally agree, Death Ray. Morgoroth sucks.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of a hard conversation for Morgoroth because I have two of his rivals in one sitting.
I'm not his rival. I'm his better.
Deathery, do you consider yourself his better as well? I know the answer, but go ahead and say it.
Well, yeah. I told myself I wouldn't go too much off on him because, he likes to be the center of attention. I really didn't want him to be the center of the attention, But fuck him.
Right.
Okay?
I'm going to train him in the art of military
He ain't
tactics.
nothing but a Wilford Brimley wannabe. That's all it is. I mean, dude, he's 50 years old. He idolizes a video game character named Master Chief. I mean, come on.
Oh my God, that's pretty awful. I agree.
I mean, he needs to idolize a real American hero like Kojak or something.
Right.
Oh, God, don't feed that ego.
You're
Don't
damn
do
right.
it. Don't do it.
No, I agree. He has witnessed my greatness in all the fighting games and the shooting games, and he still complains and cannot beat me in anything.
Don't cloud your hate. Don't let your hatred of Morgoroth cloud it to the point where you advocate this.
No,
don't
this
do
is
it.
just like the WWF back in the day. It's a tag team of Kojak and Death Ray.
That's exactly
That's
how
a
it
handicap match, though, because Morgan ain't got nobody to bat for him, and I ain't going to do it. So
He's got
Me
Chicken
either.
Shack. Chicken Shack bats for him.
is.
He's back on PUBG already. I saw that.
Because he lost playing
Is he
Apex
really?
with me. No, he was playing Apex with me. He got shot 3 or 4 times, like we do in every match, because it's a game that's not actually easy. And he almost had a meltdown and quit.
Oh, that video game rage, because he's not as good as Frank.
Yeah, I
He
agree.
knows that.
I heard him smash something and then immediately apologize to his girlfriend for smashing whatever it was he smashed.
They don't sound like the old Morgoroth that I know.
Or it does entirely.
Well, yeah. Like, I hear him, he keeps on calling me a pedo, like, every single week just because, like, I don't know, I watch wrestling or something, or something about my mustache. I don't know. But, I hope he gets dick tendonitis is what I hope.
Yeah, well,
Like,
Are
I
there
hope
tendons
it's so
in the dick
bad.
to get tendonitis? But he'll be
Yeah,
he'll be the first to
like he
get it.
can't even
How's that back dick
handle it
throbbing
in
going?
his arm, let alone dick tendonitis. I mean, like, I hope it's so bad that he can't, like, ever, like, jerk off or have sex, like, ever again.
Dictitis.
Because the pain is so bad, and then, like, one day, like, some old guy that's got a fantasy for, like, fat, bald guys, like, kidnaps him
Hey.
and ties him up.
He does
And
have
then,
a
like-
fantasy for fat bald guys. He's super jealous.
Well, he does, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I hope like that old guy like jerks him off so bad that he like has to sell his soul to the devil
Well-
just to get him to stop. But the joke's on him because then the devil ends up just takes him to hell where he loses to Kojak over and over again for eternity at Gears.
I'm gonna let you guys in a little secret. The other day, me and Morgoroth played Gears of War in a competition. I whooped him so bad that we said he couldn't put it on the record. We had to do it in front of everybody who didn't count. And I agreed. I said, that's okay, because I'm so confident in beating his lazy ass that I'll just let it ride.
Well,
His claim was the exact opposite, just so you know.
What? Morgoroth lies about things?
That's what he said. I'm just saying. I'm not trying to incite any beef here. That's not what I do.
No, clearly no. This is all facts.
But he's just saying that he's better than you.
I know. Was he out of breath when he said it?
Yeah, I'm out of breath sitting here right now.
Well, we will see when I get up there because isn't there supposed to be like a little match going on between you two?
It's you know what? If I take time out of my important day to do that, I will lower myself.
Frank, eat your mic. Eat it.
I will lower myself to battle his second-rate ass. Yep.
I think it's at cable on that fucking thing. But
Hold on, fucking son, you're fucking now. Is this fucking ready?
I'm glad I got compression now. I got a new compression app, so that's going to be okay. You go ahead and do that if you want.
Good deal.
But yeah, so you're coming up. When are you coming up to Michigan?
It'd be March 20th through the 25th. I'll be there.
Okay.
Wait, I need stones.
All right, stop.
Stones.
I'm not going to yell at you, but stop.
Wait, he will. Give it time. give me time.
All right. But so you're going to be up the March 20th to 25th.
Yes.
Okay. Is he going to
Yeah, I
fly
just
out,
wanna-
or is this that going to happen, or no?
You know, I don't know. I've still not heard anything. He said he will be, but I mean, I've not heard anything else about it.
We got because if it's going to be a 2-on-1 with you two, I know you guys both hate him. I'm a neutral party.
I love him. I love to beat him.
Yeah.
I love to watch him rage. It's epic scales. I mean, he loses, and you hear smash, crank, boom, bang in the background, and anger. Like, I gotta go, guys.
Yeah.
My controller don't work for some reason. All of a sudden,
He's a sore
The
loser.
batteries died.
But you're a sore loser too.
I don't lose. What are you
How many
talking
times
about?
have you been kicked
I
off
don't
Xbox?
lose.
You've been kicked off Xbox for your comments that you made towards people.
Listen, that don't count. Those were legitimate comments for pussies and
I like
bitches.
how you get flat-footed and fucking bore down and argue with 13-year-olds when you play Mortal Kombat. Pussy fag, bitch, blah blah blah. That's what you do.
Well,
I don't argue on
You know,
Mortal Kombat. I don't
if they
lose.
couldn't handle it, then I guess they shouldn't play.
Yeah.
That's right. They shouldn't. They cheat. Half of them cheat. Cheaters.
Yeah. The best is though Morgan tries to get me on his side. I'm trying to stay neutral. He's like, I'm telling you I'm better. You know that. It's just a text between me and him. We're not even in characters. I'm better than him. I'm like, hey, I don't know. And I don't because it's not been settled officially.
He keeps quitting. Every time we play something, he quits.
Or he turns the power off in the whole entire house.
Yeah. Smashes the electrical panel. My power's out, guys. I can't compete tonight.
Matt brought that up, and that was a good point. When Frank was getting the better of Matt, he killed the power to the house. But hey, you can't let your enemy win, I guess.
Any means necessary.
Yeah. VBAM. Victory by any means necessary.
To be honest, I don't handle losing well either. I've smashed an iPhone once.
No.
Maybe
No.
a TV.
Yeah, the thing is, the little secret about me, I don't avoid multiplayer because I am not competitive. I avoid them because I am competitive and suck. So when you have that combination, shit gets broke.
It does.
Yeah, when you have no coordination, I'm like fucking Michael J. Fox out there. trying to do something, and then I can't take losing. It's a bad combination. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna just play Fable alone.
Play single player games.
Yeah, I was like, because I can't compete out here.
And then you pick Dark Souls 2 for the single player game.
Yeah. Well, that one got me mad, but I don't know. It has a weird effect on you because you think you can do it, so you just do. You just
Is that Gerhardt? And
That's it. Yeah, we're watching the UFC, Jeff, live,
Awesome.
and oh,
He
face
got a leg.
brain.
Oh, he did a stupid kick.
Oh boy. All right. Anyway,
Which
Kobe
the
Garbrandt
UFC
is
you
fighting
watching?
some dude.
I can't see that far.
your vision's just bad.
I can't
So we're
read
watching
that
the UFC
name.
right now,
Oh,
and
good old UFC.
I was
used to
watching
love
the UFC.
UFC.
yeah, do you still watch it at all?
I watch it every now and then, but it's just not the same. The last couple years, it's just I don't know.
It's lost.
Different.
It's lost its luster in your eyes.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah. So do you have a subscription to the WWE deal?
Oh yeah, the
So-
network.
so-
Oh yeah, definitely.
You
So is
sound,
Brian's a
$9.99 a month.
you sounded like that was a dumb question. Do you have a subscription to that?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I do.
Well, fair enough. It is a dumb question. Now, was Pine's assessment right in that you get a lot of content and the pay-per-views with it?
Oh yeah, you get like every single pay-per-view, and you get every single Nitro, every single Monday Night Raw, every pay-per-view from WWE, WCW, ECW, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I mean, you get all of that stuff.
Well, hell yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, that sounds good, man. That's not a bad deal. I wish UFC would do something like that. See, I bought their Fight Pass thinking it would be something like that, and it was just all their dumb shit. Like, oh, we have a card in New Zealand at 2 p.m. on a fucking Saturday. Oh, yay, you can watch it alone with no one. I watched it like it was stupid. You know, the UFC Fight Pass was dumb. It is dumb. It's a fucking shit deal. At least Vince McMahon gives you what you want.
Yeah, I will agree. You know, I remember when they first come out with that UFC app on the 360, I believe it was, and I thought it was going to be something amazing, and it turned out to be just tank.
Yeah, it's just, hey, pay $60 for a pay-per-view like you normally would, and you get nothing. So it was great. It was a great app.
Yeah, you actually, I imagine if you're part of the Fight Pass, you have to be an actual fighter or like hardcore for you to really enjoy all of that, because the content they put out is you got to be really, really into it to enjoy that. I mean, if you're a casual fan, or even a good fan, it's not giving you what you want whatsoever on the Fight Pass. A lot of it's reruns, isn't it?
Yeah, a ton of reruns. I mean, it's cool you get your back catalog, every fight ever. That's great, but I mean, you can go. There's an app called YouTube that you don't have to pay a dime for, and you just got to, and you get all the Russian shit. It's like Russian writing, and then like, oh, here's Chuck Liddell versus Rampage in Russian writing. You know, the schnip fucking writing.
I've been YouTubing a lot at work lately because I don't do shit. I've just been hanging out in my car. So I've been watching Ramsey Kitchen Nightmares nonstop. Yeah. So now I'm judgmental everywhere I eat. Now I just look at everything. I'm like, oh my god, that margarita came out of the premix. I'm like, these people suck.
I watch cooking shows a lot. Garbrandt got hurt again.
I'm actually sitting here drinking with you guys, by the way. So,
That's good.
What are you drinking?
What do you got?
I'm actually drinking Michelob Ultra. It's great taste, never fills you up.
What?
There's only one thing gayer than Miller Lite, and I drink that. No, do you like it?
I love all kinds of beers.
Whoa, this fight's amazing. Whoa!
Hold on.
Death
Ray.
Well, these guys are killing each other.
Oh, it's swinging for the fences.
Smooth up in ya. Ooh.
Oh, that's good.
These guys are braining each other left and right. Ooh. Sorry, Death Ray.
You got to pause.
These guys are about. Oh,
that one hurt. That one hurt. He won the trade. Oh, his head's cut open.
A guy got the side of his head split wide open. Wow.
So, I know. Last week you all were talking about, some of y'all's favorite fighters, and y'all brought up one of my favorite fighters, Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Because he was in wrestling.
I heard that, Frank.
Because he was.
Well, yeah, he was. But I actually met him in Dan Severn a couple of years ago.
Yeah. And
Coldwater, Michigan.
Matt brought up the fact that he hates Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, I fucking think he sucks. I mean, credit to where credit's due. He was one of the pioneers, back in the old days of the UFC. If it wasn't for guys like him, we wouldn't have the sport that we have today. I'll give him credit as far as that goes. But on a personal level, him as a fighter, him as a wrestler, he can eat shit.
What don't you like about him as a fighter?
I think he just kind of sucks. He's not really that good, and he bitches and fucking. I don't know. The whole Tito trilogy was a joke, a waste of time.
So you didn't
watch
see
a guy
his leg
fucking.
lock?
How do you even call it a rubber match when the guy it's a one-sided fucking beatdown twice in a row, and then we're gonna have a third? It's just like if we like the same appeal of people talking about Cormier and John Jones now. Why do I want to see that fight a third time? I've already seen the guy get his ass kicked twice.
I figured that his leg lock in the WWF would be a deal.
Frank Shamrock is way superior to Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, Deathry, this fight was really good. We're trailing off because we were watching Garbrandt fight some random Brazilian, I believe, who's not random anymore.
No, it turned. We're in the middle of talking. It turned into a monster slugfest where they're standing there trading. Whoever goes down first loses.
Yeah, they were just like they threw technique out the window and just started winging. And Garbrandt has been knocked out 3 times in a row now.
Yeah, fuck him. I don't like him either. I'm glad he got knocked out. Although I will say, I give him credit for standing and banging like that. That was pretty sweet from what I saw.
Bang.
It was a pretty cool bang-a-thon.
Bang-a-thon. Bang.
And he split that dude's head open pretty good.
Yeah, the side of it.
He looks mad.
Is that fucking... Oh, no. That dude that was just tiling him off looked like fucking... what's his name? Brian Shaw for a split second.
Oh yeah, the power lifter. Strongman.
Yeah. Look at that guy back there. Doesn't he kind of looks like him? Well, except
does.
for he's got if he tried to grow hair.
That's a big dude.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's his strength and conditioning coach.
By the way, just kind of off subject. Did you guys see Krokop retired finally for good?
He had a stroke.
I did not.
Well, it proves a point though. Roy Nelson, who's been fat forever, and has been hit way more times than Krokop, maybe not knocked out as many times because he doesn't get knocked out.
That
maybe
vicious
once.
leg kick.
Well, Arlovsky and Hunt got him. Bottom line is, being a fat guy that gets hit a lot is better than being really in shape. Because you get...
Yeah, if you don't want to get laid, I agree.
But, who had the stroke and who didn't?
I mean, you'll live longer.
They're both the same age.
Is that life really worth living? If you live longer?
You can always stroke to avoid
Morgan.
a stroke.
Ask Morgan.
Morgan's going to outlive us
And
all.
That'd be funny. Like, Morgan lives to be 110.
And we ain't talking about his leg either.
Hey, he has about, averaged about 3 or 4 heart attacks a day and everything. So
3 or 4 heart attacks a day.
We need another one so I can call him on this phone and get him in here.
I don't have a splitter. If I had a splitter, I could have them both on. But we're building that up.
Well,
We want you guys both in the same place. Here, Jeff, do you have money to fly out to Vegas?
Technically, we're
I
tearing
wish
them down.
I did. It would take me a little bit to save up money because
I think we should go to Vegas and we didn't have this argument at a pool somewhere.
We all go to Vegas.
And then to have the final fucking fight with you two is in Vegas.
Oh, I can't wait for the hookers and the blow.
That
You won't come back from Vegas.
I won't come back. No.
Either by choice or by death. You're staying in Vegas.
Me and Morgaroth are both going to have heart attacks, but for different reasons.
Yeah, man. We need to either go to because he says he's coming in, but I don't think it'll be at the same time you're here. You know what I mean?
On purpose.
Yeah, that's what I was
Completely dodging
thinking too,
you.
Frank.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Got to be objective. I don't know.
I'm going to change his name from Morgoth just to Dodging. His new name's Dodging. I could call him Dodger, but that was my first dog.
Oh, here's what I wanted to talk to you about.
Don't want to insult my dog.
Deathery, usually me and you are on good terms, and we laugh and joke together, but I got a problem with you.
Oh, snap.
You switched to
That's,
PS4, didn't you?
What?
Yes, I
You
recently
heretic!
switched to PS4.
What is this treason I'm hearing?
Now,
Well,
when did you get a Pro?
Same day you got a
I
sex
actually
change.
got it about last month. I don't know, man. It was just kind of like I've always been a big Xbox fan. I've always played Xbox.
You
and,
did,
I
yes.
still actually prefer Xbox. But at the
Makes
end of the
sense.
day, it was like, well, there's been a lot of PS4 games or PS games in general I've always wanted to play. Uncharted, God of War,
Did you play
Horizon
Bloodborne?
Zero Dawn, God of War.
That's all that matters
That's
to
all
me.
that matters.
and
You played
Frank.
Bloodborne.
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 The greatest game ever made, God of War.
Whoa.
No.
Slow
no.
down. Slow down.
I
Snooki.
can't-
I
I
haven't
can't-
played God of War yet.
I can't. The thing is, I finished up Crackdown, and I'm probably going to play God of War to give my honest assessment of it. But I will say this: Bloodborne, top level game, best exclusive on either console because Dark Souls.
Souls.
Yeah, he made it. So
That's the only
because-
reason.
Now,
I did buy Dark Souls.
Horizon Zero Dawn, I fucking loved it for about 12 to 15 hours, and then it fizzled. It fizzled.
Did you say Destiny?
Really?
You noticed that too, Matt.
I would agree 100%.
Yeah,
The
it's
story is not, it's okay. There's enough intrigue into Aloy's backstory to keep you going, but the voice acting and the secondary characters, the NPCs are all terrible. It's a gorgeous game. The robots are cool, the animal fucking robots, whatever the fuck. That's the gameplay and the stuff you can do.
I love the bow play.
The methods of attacking these things. That's the best part of the game. The story's just okay. But it is a pretty game. That's for sure.
Awful because I haven't played it, but what I've seen from the previews, it looked like a great game to play. I considered buying a PS4 just to play that game.
It's not worth buying a
and then
PS4
not
over.
buying a
The Left of Us or The Last of Us, that game looked cool as hell.
That I would say might be worth it.
that game.
That's why I wanted one.
I gave up on that game because I came to a dumb part that made me quit, and then Stones told me that basically if I had gone beyond that part, I would have been fine.
Yeah, it's the tough. It's
Gave up at the
it's
right
the
time.
only part of the game where I die consistently. Even picking it back up, that is the trickiest part of the game. It's just a weird spot. It's hard to know. It doesn't a lot of that's one thing where they kind of fucked. I feel like the developer kind of fucked up because most games they're supposed to kind of lead you. Whether it's through lighting or something to where
Dark Souls.
clue you into where you got to go, and especially if there is a specific spot that you have to go, and it doesn't really do the best job of leading you there because there is really only one course you can take to get out of that situation, in that particular part that you got stuck in, and they don't do a very good job of of leading you there. You get killed 3-4 times, maybe even more if you're really unlucky.
I quit after 4.
I get that.
Lord knows I'm the unlucky one. I quit.
Well,
that was it.
And I'll tell you this too, Deathery, though. God of War, I haven't played it. Give me your assessment of it.
I will as soon as I start it.
Oh, you haven't played. What have you played?
Right now, I've actually just been playing some Grand Theft Auto, and I picked up. I got Dark Souls,
What?
so I got that.
He gets Dark Souls
Yeah.
for fucking PlayStation.
You bought it for PS4, you son of a bitch? What the hell is
We would have
this?
took you through fucking Dark
Oh
Souls.
my! You would have had the best time of your life with Dark Souls with us. What is? Take it back, and buy it for Xbox. That's the only option here.
or not?
Yeah.
No, you do that. You don't listen to him. You do that, and you come with us.
Let him say his piece.
He has no peace after that statement.
I kind of figured y'all were going to give me a lot of shit for getting the PS4, but
You don't get Dark
I was
Souls in the
prepared for
PS4.
it.
No.
I was prepared for it.
Well, now one thing I would like to do, and I wish we all had a PS4 to do a fucking Bloodborne run, man. But
I just bought new shoes, Mike, and Outback today. I can't afford that.
I know you can.
I should probably check that game out.
Because that game is amazing. And it's not as hard as Dark Souls, Matt, by the way. It's not it's hard, but it's not like that. It's not like on that level. Like, I beat the bosses on that, like, pretty much alone. It wasn't that bad.
I love Dark Souls. I run through that shit. It's amazing.
And
so
Bloodborne
good.
is of that ilk. It's great. And but I gotta try God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn. Great bow play. I love the game, but it fizzled after about 12 to 15 hours. I got bored with it.
See, and that's what kind of worries me now, because I'm an RPG guy. I love my RPGs, and
Yeah.
it kind of worries me there.
If you like RPGs, you're like stoned. You're on the right platform. PS4 is where you gotta go.
I don't know if I would consider Horizon an RP. It maybe has elements of it. You can upgrade your weapons and stuff, but there's not like a lot of character customization other than some outfits and shit you can get. It is a fun game. I probably played it more than 15, 20, that's for sure. But it started to feel a little repetitive after I'd say about 15, 20 hours, and then by about 30, 40, I was like, I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, it fizzles, but it's still better than anything Xbox has
And
put out.
honestly, you could probably complete it in a way less time. I just happened to get into the not even side missions, but just exploring the world and running across different convoys of machines and taking them out and just playing around, just having some fun. That's what that game's good for, the combat. And to that end, I would still say that I've talked about it every time you brought up the bow play. And the games are cheap now. Tomb Raider, you got the Tomb Raider reboot. You've got Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now you got Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which I still haven't checked out, but I intend to. Those are definitely worth a look if you like the bow play in Horizon Zero Dawn.
All right. So, and another thing. Now, you still have your Xbox, right?
No, I don't have it anymore.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake.
What are you gonna do when Borderlands 3 comes out?
I literally feel like I accidentally ordered a WWE
I'll tell you
pay-per-view
what,
just now.
I'm definitely going to get another one. That's just obvious. I mean, Halo and Gears of War and Borderlands and all that.
Well, here's the thing, though. To defend you for your choice of buying a PlayStation product, I will say, we'll talk about your tattoo right now. What is your tattoo? Explain it.
Centipede.
Oh, my
What the
tattoo?
hell do you get a centipede on your arm for?
That's what everybody says it is. It's baseball stitching.
Well, okay. Well, obviously, this is a rhetorical question. I know you're going to answer it. What game is available on PlayStation that is not available on Xbox?
Well, yeah, you got me there. It's MLB The Show.
So, okay. Because you're such a rabid baseball fan, and even a YouTuber I listen to named Razor Fist, he said it's the best RPG because it's a baseball game. He's a baseball fan, and he hates PlayStation and Xbox. He's a PC guy. He loves MLB The Show. You're on the right platform for MLB. I mean, it's supposed. If you're a baseball fanatic, it's the game to get.
Hey,
I gotta pee.
Yeah.
His name is Razor Fist?
Yeah.
Jeez.
You would probably like him.
You know of this man, too?
Yeah. Who do you think told Mike about him?
I don't know. I didn't ask about Razor Fist ever.
Yeah, that's true. He's I don't even know how to describe it. He's he covers all the subjects that I care about. Video games, old school pro wrestling, heavy metal, politics. He's very far to the right. He's very he talks at a speed and he quips at a rate that you can't even comprehend. The dude's extremely fucking smart.
I'll have to look at it.
And it's a lot to take in. When you watch one of his videos, you have to kind of slow it down and rewatch it to kind of grasp all his little puns and shit. And just he talks about 1,000,000 miles a second. He's like the king of the rants. But I dig the Razor Fist.
See, I don't get into any of that stuff. If I'm watching something, I have to come across it on my adventures.
The reason I discovered him was because a few years ago, there's another YouTube channel I watch called Banger TV. It's heavy metal. They do heavy metal reviews, album reviews. So I watched an episode of their Lock Horns segment, which was like a debate segment that they had, where they had like 3 feminist chicks in metal bitching about fucking men and stuff. And so I did a video in response to it. And after I uploaded it, it recommended this other video to me that was basically attacking the same thing, and it was his. And I'm glad I did mine first, because I would have probably not done it if I had already seen it. Like his rant was like so infinitely more aggressive and detailed, and it's like I think mine I rant on for like 30 minutes. He only goes for about 8 or 10, and he said more in that 10 minutes than I could in 40.
I'll have to check it out. Just send me a link to it.
And it was way funnier than what I had. Although I wasn't necessarily trying to be funny, but
yeah, Razor Fist is a diehard Diamondbacks fan. He's out in Arizona, so.
See, I have too much cable television. I don't get to watch YouTube ever. If I'm at work, I'm watching something stupid like aliens impregnating Nazis.
Yeah, see,
I don't watch the alien Nazi impregnation.
I have all those same channels, but I don't give a shit about any of them.
I watch like ancient man's been alive for 1 million years. We dug up a doll in South Dakota that was buried 10 million years under the fucking soil.
I'd actually watch that.
I have. It's amazing. Prove it wrong.
Yeah, you can't disprove something wrong that's batshit crazy.
Yeah,
because you're like, that person is they believe it just as hard as me and you believe the sun rises in the east.
Just like them damn flat earthers. What the fuck is that? What? Flat Earth?
Do you guys know how that started?
Oh, yeah. It was 4chan.
It was a 4chan troll.
Yeah, 4chan troll started that, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, the flat Earth.
And it became a thing.
Isn't that how everything starts? Isn't it 4chan directly, like, the progenitor of, like, all feminist movements, all flat Earth movements, everything stems from something that 4chan started?
They pretended to admire Hitler, and then the alt-right happened.
Right.
Okay, they pretended that they were, like... And there's a bunch of like mixed race guys because they did meetups, and these guys are like, I was 80% white, but there's Asians, black guys. They're like a mixed race group, and they came up with this "We Like Hitler" thing, and it caught on for real.
It's so crazy how some of that shit catches on. What are you doing?
So, what else topics were? Oh yeah, you were wanting to talk about how VR has failed.
What happened?
What happened? We have technical difficulty.
Oh yeah, I can kind of hear everybody now.
Yeah. Here.
Family disputes.
We're having a family fight right now, Deathry. We're not at my house, by the way.
No, we're at Kojak's house. So things are a little different. And there's no Pine here this evening. I thought he was supposed to be here.
Hey, I thought he was going to show up. It's 10:40.
I think he might be taking the night off.
I don't know. I haven't heard from him.
Let me just point out that if Morgan does show up to this battle, do you all realize this would be the first time we've all actually been under one roof at the same time in like 15 years?
Has it been? Well, it's been a long time.
It can't be that long because I haven't even been around 15 years in terms of. Well, actually,
when was the original?
It had to been a Nerd Fest.
The original Nerd Fest.
It was about, I'm going to say 2005, 2006.
I thought it was, it was after Gears, Jeff, because Gears came out 2006. So I'm thinking 2007 or 8.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay,
about
so
right.
it was around that time.
Stones came along. Well, I was in a band, and you met my sister. So what was 2005?
2004 is when Kate and I started dating. I got married in 2006, and I think Gears came out in 2006. It was probably 2007 was the first Nerds Fest, right?
Right
sounds
about.
Yeah.
I think I was still living in the trailer during the first Nerd Fest.
So I came to Kentucky a few times, but even that ended 2011-ish, and that didn't include Frank. So, well, Frank did come down with me to Kentucky in 2011 or so.
Yeah, I think I remember him coming down for like Hillbilly Days. Didn't y'all come down for that around that time?
Yeah, we came Hillbilly Days. It was me, Kojak, his ex-wife.
Don't speak her name.
Yeah, I won't say. It's like I can't say Mordor. I can't say her name. Yeah, so it was about that time.
Yeah, and then I seen you and Frank last year around this time when I came up there. Yeah,
He heard that.
Clearly, I was there to admire your mom. That's not even a dig. That's just like real.
Well, Deathry's mother is attractive. There's no two ways.
Yeah, Deathry's mother's attractive is putting it mildly.
She is. That's okay. It's not a bad thing. You got good genetics, Jeff. That's okay.
Whoa. Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what else I was going to talk to you about. There's another. Okay, you hate Morgan. We know that.
Well, that's an understatement, really.
So I'm trying to think that is he. He said he could come, like, I can come in a week or two's notice, but we know that's a lie.
Total lies, like he's claims
that's what he
victory.
told me. At least 2 weeks.
Well, so he's probably not going to be here when you're here on the 20th. But what we'll do is I'm going to hand you a microphone, and we'll do the call, and then you can insult him, and you'll have a domineering voice because you have a mic.
All right.
We'll do that, and then we'll do the actual face-to-face hatred. We can do that too. We got to think of a time. We got to find a way where we can all be in the same place, some kind of way. And Vegas is not that expensive to get there.
I have an idea.
I don't gamble.
A funeral. Morgan dies. We all show up. We're all there.
Well, yeah, that's a cheap way.
It's not cheap. You don't imagine the casket, how expensive that would be.
They don't make cardboard boxes that big.
Yeah, they do for like fridges.
Well, unless one of us wants to buy a 75-inch TV.
No, we are. we're bury. We're gonna have to. We're gonna bury him in a box truck. Gotta rent a backhoe.
Yeah. So, Jeff, are you still working at the same place you were working at?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Been there almost 10 years now.
Yeah, do you have any clout there? Are you like a boss or anything? Or are you still just a schlub like me?
I just stay in the back in my department and ignore everybody and have the least human contact.
I can ignore people, too.
Do you work at the convention center? Because I always see you at conventions.
That would be like the perfect job for me.
Yeah, you need to work at like a fucking civic center somewhere, dude. For real.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, up until a couple of years ago, I would be the type that I would never go to these conventions or even get a band tattoo. Now here I am going to every single convention I can go to with a tattoo. It's changed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, and fuck him again for making fun of my conventions. At least I'm doing something.
Yeah,
Well, he's got to drag other people down.
Yeah.
because he's terrible at any video game he plays, and he can't admit it. So he has
And
to
he
drag
sits at
you
home
down.
and-
He has to go off a video game and drag you down on what makes you happy. Although, I don't know about them conventions too much, Death Ray. I'm really not on board with that, but whatever.
No.
Well, let me put it this way, Frank. Have you ever met Henry fucking Winkler? Because I have.
I would honestly rather spend my Saturday getting shot down by some girl than meeting Henry Winkler.
Is Morgan's claims of spending paychecks to get there? Are they true?
I don't. He says I spent 6 paychecks.
Something like that, yeah.
That's a little
Nobody
bit
has
of
$200 to
exaggeration.
spend.
It's
Yeah.
an exaggeration. It's probably more like 10 paychecks.
You have just given me cancer in
All
my
right,
face.
All right, Deathry, Pine has showed up. What we're gonna do? We're gonna wrap up our interview with you. We're probably gonna put you in the midweek slot. This interview, and we'll get back with you. But we're gonna get off with you, and then we're gonna put Pine on, and then it'll be us 4. But your fucking insults of Morgan were top notch.
It's a pleasure. We are now a tag team. Death Ray, you got to think up a tag team name for us in classic WWE style. It's me and you versus the Morgaroth. You got to come up with a name.
In a hell in a McDonald's play area is what it's going to be.
The tag team of
Except
Death
for-
Ray and Kojak.
Except for Morgan's going to lose that because he's going to be in there, eating like 50, Big Macs and everything and having a heart
No,
attack.
59 because I am definitely eating one.
All right, Jeff, man, I'll see you.
All right, see y'all.
Yeah, bye. Radio Underground. We're talking about why we're fat and ugly and old.
Hi.
I'm Lord Despot. With me always is Kojak's back this week because we're not talking about wrestling.
Thank you, God.
Pine is here
Hello.
and Stones. Malone.
Yeah, I'm. Hopefully, I don't. The sound of my cold doesn't come through too much.
I thought you were going to say. I thought you were
Why
going
are you watching porn?
all right.
What was
So
that?
here's what I just did.
I just saw a clit or a dick or something.
It was
That
it
was
was an
poo.
asshole getting fingered with diarrhea coming out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what it is I just saw on Facebook a friend of mine.
been banned from 10
thanks a lot,
platforms
Heather.
just now.
Is that in the church?
No, it's not even. She didn't even share it to the
Oh.
church. It's Takashi69 found dead in his cell, and so hey, did this happen? And then I click, and it's just a asshole getting fingered with diarrhea.
That was pretty
Found
gross.
dead in my
It was
trap,
sort of
yeah.
gross.
Should I click it again?
No.
Yes. Yes.
No, the shit I get sent when I get sent something in my Facebook instant messenger, or private messenger, my heart rate goes up because I know it's going to be bad.
Yeah.
It ain't
If-
nothing good. It's always like a fucking.
So you know what?
If I send
a
you something,
grenade falling out of the ass.
if
It's
I
something
send you something
horrible.
in Messenger, I got hacked. I will not send. I don't send you guys stuff.
Usually,
in
if I put up my messenger, it leads to me masturbating at some point.
So you know what?
Oh yeah,
What I think I'll do is
nothing like a road cone.
you know how like the last podcast we did, I took in. I made the little.
Kojak's dying.
fuck
did you just say?
Said a
There's always
road
like a road cone going up somebody's ass or something horrible.
up the ass. I've seen that,
Oh, I thought it was like when you're jacking off in the truck or something at work, called it a road cone.
dude.
I've done that. I don't know if
I
that's
mean,
what it's
I mean-
called. I don't know.
I had a name for it. Parked between two trucks that can't see me.
I'm sorry, Stones. You were saying something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I made that little video excerpt of the wrestling podcast where I added all the videos. So maybe I'll do that for the first 5 minutes of this podcast. I'll do a little, and then I'll put that video in the of the asshole with the diarrhea.
You know,
That's a good
In the
idea.
video,
You know-
and I'll upload it to YouTube and see how far it gets before it gets taken down.
did any
Not
of you
far.
see the random video I made with Aaron and his fucking voicemails?
I watched the first few minutes,
Amazing.
few seconds of it earlier, but I didn't finish
But
it.
that is. I want you to keep in mind that is from one fucking like voicemail. That's not several voicemails that I pieced together to make him look ridiculous.
That's
just
one
one
continuous.
Yeah, and he's like, he goes right from I'm a lichen.
Oh!
He goes
Whoa!
Right, he goes right from I'm a lichen to
Dude, did he just?
So we're
body
watching
him?
UFC right now, by the way, in the background, and Ben Askren just got
Dude, is
dumped
he
on
dead?
his head, and he's getting
Is he-
clobbered right now
he
by
dead?
Robbie
The ref's
Lawler.
letting it go.
He's surviving.
I don't know how Ben Askren didn't die from that.
He dropped him directly on his head.
He's
Oh, he
bleeding
was
pretty
out.
bad. He
Yeah,
looks
but
in
ref's
he's
letting it go.
busted up.
I don't know how Askren did not die from that at all.
So I guess we're going to have some UFC commentary throughout the podcast when something shit-ass crazy
I
like
do not
that
know how
happens.
Ben Askren
That
didn't
was
die
shit
from that.
ass crazy.
That was, wow.
And he's back up to his feet.
That's amazing.
Clearly
Shit,
a
now I
zombie.
feel like we're going to be just Mike Goldberg and, you know.
Well, because that was amazing is what that was.
This is the fight companion wannabes.
Wow. That's impressive.
That was impressive by Lawler.
And Askren,
I just wanna
to be
add-
honest, the toughness
Yeah,
of that
except
dude
he's got
is
another
something
4
else.
minutes to go.
I just want to
Yeah.
add to this.
How did
From now
Askren not
on,
die from those hits?
from now on, jacking off your car is called a road cone.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, this is going to be a distracted podcast.
Yeah, for
as
this fight-
long as good fights are happening. Earlier in the evening,
Askren got slammed on his fucking skull.
Like,
Earlier in the evening, we had Cody Garbrandt get what is it, with Rock'em Sock'em Robots with
Yep.
the Munoz or whatever the fuck that guy's name was. That
oh,
was
who
pretty
won?
sweet.
I wasn't here for that.
Munoz. He
I don't
rocked
think
him.
I don't know if that's how you pronounce the guy's name. I know it's not Mark Munoz.
No.
but it's
Oh, I know.
similar
It's,
last
is,
name.
it, is it spelled like MAMUNHOZ?
With an H in there,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Brazilian guy.
Munoz.
course.
But that was a nice little
You saw-
slugfest we had.
Did you see a Vitor signed with another organization?
I
I
did.
don't know how Askren's not dead from that.
He's clearly a zombie right now.
He's defending himself. He's doing well now.
I'm glad that ref let it go.
Yeah,
'Cause
because
he could've stopped
he
it.
was. He looked.
He could have
I
stopped.
thought
it.
he was out, dude.
I think
thought he was
it literally looked like he got knocked out, knocked back in, knocked out, knocked back in again.
in,
head-
out, in.
His
I
head was
like-
rubber banding big time.
And I always appreciate when a guy's got good hair, like an afro, so when he gets slammed on his head, like the hair bounces around
So-
and makes it look
especially like a
hair whip.
a clearly Germanic white guy with an afro. I don't know how he didn't go out. I really don't.
So we're going to have to figure out a way
Tombstone.
of continuing the podcast while also being distracted
By
Because
violence.
because the audience isn't going to be extremely intrigued by shit they can't fucking see.
Well, we got to do play by
And,
play then.
But so
You who wants to be Rogan? Who wants to be?
And we're back.
Hi.
We just saw Ben Askren go out 3 times, and Robbie Lawler went out twice in about a minute and a half, 2-minute fight.
It was 2 minutes long.
So I guess the theme of this podcast is UFC drunkenness by us.
That was a entertaining fight.
and diarrhea
was.
buttholes.
And diarrhea clit butthole thing.
Jesus.
And I'm responding to my good friend Heather just shared it to the church of Butts, that is.
The Church of Butts.
I'm not going to get into what that is.
It's our-
Oh, you can go
saying,
ahead.
sorry, I meant to share this to this group, and I accidentally shared it on my wall. It's like, yeah, that's why I clicked it. I thought it was actually going to be legit. And I'm
It's
like,
an
oh,
elite group that you guys aren't
So,
really.
yeah,
no,
it's
fine.
it's
I'm
it's a
part of the
group.
Church.
If you want to see diarrhea fingered buttholes,
There's
that's
more than
the,
that.
That's a group to
It's
join.
mostly
Yeah,
just-
you could see people getting shot, some Carcosa shit.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll just pull up documentary reality if you want to have a good
That's true.
conversation.
I'm already on 4chan. I don't need any of it.
Yeah. So anyway,
Hi.
So, anyways, Robbie Lawler slammed Ben Askren on his skull, elbowed him 13 times viciously. Askren looked to be out once or twice.
Yeah.
He gets up, chokes Robbie Lawler out bad. Robbie Lawler wakes up to tap, and then goes out again.
almost wakes up to tap.
Yeah.
He wasn't even fully,
So
barely
he-
conscious.
But, so they both went out twice, in my opinion. It's a 2-2 knockout.
It was
well, the thing is, who was the guy at the end
Who was
who
in
was
a better
going
shape?
to win? That, like,
Well, if it would have went on, Robbie Lawler goes dies.
So,
yeah.
like, the referee didn't stop the fight when Askren got slammed. So Askren survived the storm, came back, put Robbie in a position that he could not escape. There was no escape from that.
No.
So protest all you want. Askren won that fight.
yeah, and don't boo Askren. Like he said, he's not the ref. He's just there
exactly.
Yeah.
to fight.
He
The
didn't
fight.
survive
If
a
the ref
storm.
says it's
He
over, it's
survived a
over.
meteor strike.
It was all that was going to happen was a mirror image of Brock Lesnar versus Shane Carwin all over again if they let that go another 5 seconds.
Yeah.
It would have been. He would have just kept. Well, the thing is, he was going to crank the neck till it
was over no matter what.
Because they were. How long was go? There was another minute to go in the round. He would have just hung on to that neck forever in a day. You know.
Yeah, there was no escape from that grip he had.
I don't know. Oh, a world champion wrestler, you can get away when you're on.
So we did the pro wrestling podcast last week, and this one's shaping up to be very UFC. I mean, obviously we have other things on the table, but like beer and cigarettes and cell phones.
Well, to be fair, I projected us to be a video game podcast, and those never rate well. But when we talk about things like going to gay bars. Douchebags, people ripping us off,
serial
killers, anything but video games, we do real well. So fuck it, who cares?
Well, it's a very saturated market. Video games is something that's always going to be a central theme because
and it's
we're
part of our
all
life.
into it. Yeah.
So you can keep it in. You just have a couple other subjects. We talk about video games, but we also talk other shit.
There are no rules here in the Radio Underground.
Yeah, Radio Underground. Well, that's how the station was back in the day when I ran the station. It started out like it's heavy metal, then it was like local bands, then it was like people wanted to hear the Blues Clues theme. So I just did whatever.
It's
I don't
random.
really care.
The only rule
sounds like
is
the
only way to
there is
be.
no
It sounds like
rules.
my iPod.
Yeah,
That's a lot of people's iPod. People have varying tastes and interests.
I find that everybody thinks that they only are eclectic. You ever notice that?
Yeah, and it's
I
not
like
true.
everything from Lady Gaga to Cannibal Corpse. Like,
Whoa,
me
whoa.
too.
Right,
Lady Gaga's pushing it.
People love to put that meme out there. My iPod shuffle is Frank Sinatra, Blue Oyster Cult.
Shout out to Frank.
You know, fucking
Yeah, and the funny thing is, their variance isn't really a true variance.
Right.
Like that's how I see
They
it.
might know one Frank Sinatra song and a Neil Diamond song that they play at like the fucking Tigers games and shit.
Sweet Caroline.
Yeah.
Yeah, can
West
you like
Virginia.
Can you like Karen Carpenter and Varg at the same time? Is what I'm asking.
You can.
Yeah, but
Yeah, you can. So I think this Kamaru
most
Usman
don't.
is trying to set the record for slowest trip to the ring ever.
No, because we were. If you want to talk about, like, I mean, maybe in UFC.
Yeah.
but
Oh, yeah.
if
I'm
you
sorry.
talk about the Japanese, they
God.
really dragged out those entrances.
I like how the Japanese would have like during the Pride days, they would have the event, and then all like 32 fighters that fought that night, they would have one like, and they're like, "Kazubi Sakuraba," and then
You know-
everybody out
you
there
know-
at the same time.
Here's how much stuff has changed. When you said the Pride Days, I automatically thought of a gay parade. I didn't even think about fighting. I thought about a gay parade.
Well,
What
times
the
have
hell?
changed.
both had equal flair.
That's
and,
true.
Production. Now, I will say this: that is one thing. I don't give a shit what anybody fucking says. The Japanese, I liked the production. I liked that everything was drawn out and dramatic, and there were fireworks, and everything was treated like a big deal. Right?
Bushido code.
You know, it was
rules the
more
world.
of an epic event than just like a run-of-the-mill sport.
Yeah, it was. Like,
And I appreciated that.
I just wish they would cut off limbs like when they lose, like they're supposed to.
Yeah,
like,
right?
yeah.
You disrespect
Well,
me in
I
the
think
street?
they did. It just wasn't the fighters' limbs. It was the people betting on it and organizing the whole fucking thing.
That's true.
the very first UFC I saw was at Kojak's house, and it was UFC 2, and he had rented the tape, and he's like, "I want you to check this out." And it was Pat Smith killing Scott Ninja Morris.
All the elbows.
And you're like,
the elbows.
you got to check this out. I'm like, what is this? How is this legal? Why is this happening?
Because
my brain couldn't
usually-
even process it.
And why is it the greatest thing I've ever
Because
seen?
usually when he came over
Why
to
am
my
I
house,
coming?
when he came over to my house, usually it's probably some illegal shit, like some face of the death shit.
No, we were.
going on.
Well, it wasn't illegal. We were 14, so we would have like the stuff. It was the 4chan of its time.
Yeah.
There's Faces of Death and UFC.
We're sitting there hanging out. My brother walks in with Pantera Far Beyond Driven tape, and we're like, "What's this?"
Cassette
remember the-
tapes. That's how
remember
long ago it was.
No, it's
Remember,
VHS.
Oh, the
remember
VHS.
well, you remember the fucking Pantera tapes where they would fucking shit
The home videos.
literally shit.
Blacktooth Grin.
They're Dimebag shit on tape.
It was Jackass before Jackass.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this? And they're a band.
Yeah.
like, and they're
And it's great.
A pretty okay band.
yeah.
Yeah, they were all right. I got to party with them a couple times. And,
You clearly resemble
Yeah,
Phil.
That story, we're gonna have to let you tell it, but I don't know if I don't know if we'll have to do it on a metal theme
That's
show.
that's a long story.
Because it's a really good story. Same as Dry as a Bone.
Dry as a bone.
Dry as a Bone
not
and the
talking
Pantera story.
You should have a long story themed podcast. Like this is just a podcast about all of our stupid long stories.
Well, I will. Let me just say this. Let me just say this. For anybody who's interested in that story and doesn't want to wait, you can go to my YouTube channel. I did share that story.
Okay.
You go back a few months.
I'll just share it on the
Right after Vinnie Paul. It was right after Vinnie
Saves
Paul
me some-
died.
Oh, wait,
saves
I
me
did
some
watch
production time.
I was going to say I missed that one, but I do remember seeing that.
Never mind. I'm fucking sharing it because I don't feel like
Yeah,
recording
there
it.
you go. We don't
And
have to,
Rast-
I don't have to talk about it. If you're interested, go to my YouTube channel. That's Stones Malone. Search me on YouTube. Find it there.
I'm going to call it now.
If you're so
I'm going.
inclined.
Honestly, I think Woodley loses tonight.
Because this is his first opponent blacker than him.
That and the guy's a beast. I mean, Usman's 13.
He's
and
a
one.
lot bigger than him.
Yeah, just
What is he doing?
he's pooping.
So Morgroth shitting on Snapchat, but there's no. I know I'm doing play by play. He's shitting. There's no video of the shit, thank God, or anything other than his face. But yeah,
That's enough. It looks like shit.
yeah. So we're about to have the blackest fight right now. Tyrone Woodley or Tyron, sorry,
Is it Tyron?
Tyron. It's
Tyron.
not Tyrone.
Yeah,
it's
Tyron.
it's
Yeah,
Tyron.
yeah.
Lannister.
And
Tyrant
how do you say Usman's first name? Kamuro.
Kamara.
But when he moved to America, when he was 9, he went to Americanize himself. His name was Marty. So Ben Askren, who's Tyron's best friend, was like, he's like, I know who you are. You're Marty, and like totally. So everyone's calling him Marty on social media to razz him. Because you're Marty from Nebraska. You're not from Nigeria.
They call him the Nigerian
Called
Nightmare.
right on as Wakanda immediately.
Yeah, well, he came here. He is from Nigeria, but he was like 9.
Well,
and his name's Marty.
Well, hey. These days, Nigerians are all MAGA hat wearing white guys from Nebraska. So, that infiltrate Chicago and
I hear you can
beat up
hire
black
them.
people.
Oh yeah, I saw that Nigerians.
Yeah.
Nigerian supremacy.
Yes. Well, no. Well, yeah. Well, we'll just put the brakes right there. I think everybody gets my joke.
We'll stop. I know.
Mana?
I get it though.
So-
Mana, mate.
You got the guy with the highest takedown defense in UFC history versus the guy who is currently the third best takedown rate in Usman.
Is GSP the number 1?
They didn't say. They just said what he was.
I would say the number 1 takedown would have to be GSP. The takedown rate.
Well, so this could be an interesting fight. Probably going to be boring because
You know what? Wouldn't surprise me if GSP was also top takedown defense. It wouldn't shock me. I don't think it's accurate.
I think
but
the only person that took him down was Matt Hughes, like prime Matt Hughes before he beat his wife and all that.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
gosh, he's got 3 inches on him.
I don't want to talk about that, and I don't care who gets mad at me. Matt Hughes' train track was not an accident.
He tried
That was
to kill
a
himself.
suicide attempt.
Absolutely, I
I don't
believe
care
that.
what anyone says.
yeah.
Okay, the story was he he got hit by a train and it was an accident. He's got CTE, the head injury, and I'm being serious. I'm not trying to make fun of the situation. He's been knocked out a bunch of times. He, in my opinion, it's not a verified fact. He went on the train tracks to kill himself,
Verified.
and he lived.
Right.
And it
makes sense.
And then he had his wife and his twin brother, had a restraining order against him because he was so aggressive, and he was abusing his brother's son. Mark, his twin brother, and he was just because he was whacked out.
And Mark and Matt were like really tight. I mean, twins. I mean, you know how tight twins usually are, but they were really close.
And then in my opinion, he tried to take himself out. And I'm not trying to make fun of suicide. It's a horrible thing, and it's a conversation we need to have. But it wasn't an accident, in my opinion.
No, and Craig has said that from the very beginning too.
Yeah, your brother said it first, and I was like, maybe not. But then
Just
I was
more
like,
you see,
come
it's
on,
like,
man. Then you hear about the things that were led up to it, and it's like, dude had brain damage from fights, and it fucking made him.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah,
it happens.
I want to settle something though, Stones.
What?
I need your opinion on this.
Yeah,
I'm convinced Woodley has beady eyes.
Oh, I don't know. Why are you asking me?
Look at it,
Why
look at it,
does my
just
opinion
look.
matter?
Those are called predator eyes.
What? Because I have beady eyes. I'm the expert on
No,
people with beady eyes.
no,
Do you have
clearly
beady eye? I never noticed that you did.
You don't have beady
No, I
eyes.
don't think you're beady.
My wife says I do.
I have like big wide eyes. They're like kind of far apart too.
It's
I can
like it's-
almost see, like if you put like a fucking
it
a
looks
trapper
like its
keeper in front of my face, I can still see around it.
forehead is pushing
Like the
down on
singer
his face
Brandy?
and making it smaller.
Remember
Yeah,
Brandy?
I
She
mean,
had a wide.
I don't
she
know
had,
if I can give you a definitive answer. Maybe my, yeah, no, I think you're right, Frank. I think he does.
It looks like his forehead is pushing down on his face and
Yeah,
squishing
yeah.
up into a little spot.
I never would have noticed that, but now that you mention it, yeah, maybe.
I don't-
know. It's maybe not. I don't know.
I just
Who
See,
knows?
it's clear.
Why are we
Usman
talking
is
about
actually
that?
shorter than Woodley.
yeah. He's
Wait,
literally,
we're not-
got 3
We're
inches
not a
on
video podcast, so it doesn't
Clearly,
show.
from
It's 6 foot to 5'9". It's not even close.
I don't even think Woodley's that tall.
This is
Yeah.
going to be
5'7".
badass.
lucky.
They're totally
This is
Tom
gonna be
Cruise.
badass.
They're lying about his height like
Well,
Tom
because
Cruise.
he's like
He's
super
dry
muscular.
humping the floor.
All right, Woodley.
Hey, it looks like that Bloodsport movie where he's gonna like fight him like the
Yeah,
ape guy
yeah.
or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
he is.
Oh.
That's how he came at him.
On
all fours.
You know what, though? John Jones did that a couple times, too.
Yeah, he does do that.
Oh,
Whoa,
overhand right.
Woodley threw a punch.
Yeah,
That's weird.
Yeah.
Battle of the Twitch muscles.
Yeah, Twitch.
So the Fight Companion podcast. All right,
Brought to you by On It.
Kamaru Usman.
None of those guys talk like that at all.
Brought to you by Red Stag.
What's trifecta?
I want nothing but like
I know
want
what it is
nothing
in
but-
horse racing.
I want
don't know what
nothing
it is
but
in
people
this.
that
I like how they're still advertising Red Dead Redemption 2.
I want
see
nothing.
they're-
It's literally sponsored by this event. Is sponsored by.
Well, I guess they did a
They're
new live
interrupting you.
update. Like,
Yell at 'em.
getting back to the,
Yell at him.
the video game theme.
Scream at him.
I keep hearing about the new updates to Red Dead 2. I have not checked them out yet. I still don't have much interest in it.
he
despite the
took
fact
down
that
Woodley
it's-
fairly easy.
the streak is alive. I think we mentioned Red Dead Redemption 2
Well,
on every podcast
It is.
so far.
It is
deserves
no,
it.
it is
Oh, I know, I
noteworthy-
agree.
It
But I
is
just wanted to keep
it
that
is
streak
noteworthy
alive.
that Marty took down Tyron very easy,
He did.
even though he's stuck in a
Yeah, but
whatever that he's going to get out of in a minute here.
in a pretzel hold. That's what we'll call it.
Martinez.
that's what I'm saying. This is the fight I expected from Woodley. Is just to hold him.
I wish that man would hold me.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Totally. Wait, what?
Pause.
My friend Frank likes the BBC.
I do too. That's why I watch Doctor Who and stuff.
Big black cock.
Oh, I think I meant the
No,
British
no.
broadcasting.
That's what I was going for, actually.
Well, you guys probably aren't on Pornhub. as
What are you
much as me.
talking about,
No.
Lord Despot?
What guy?
Blonde, yeah, she's getting tore up.
What guy is not on Pornhub?
What's that show? What's that show behind Covington Lane or something like the one that's been on for like 80 years in London?
Huh?
You're looking at me like, what the fuck
Covington
are you talking
Lane.
about?
What the fuck are you talking
It's a
about?
Covington Lane. Never mind. It's a European thing. Shut up.
I know.
Covington-
I am cultured. I know about
You
Europe.
talk about those kids that got fucking harassed?
I
Random
don't know.
minorities just fucking circled them.
They got.
Have you been to Covington
They got.
Lane?
Like
Oh, they make that into a
they do
porn
have
already?
shows like that, but I don't know what that one is.
There's got to be a porn about the Covington kids,
The
right?
EastEnders is like that.
One of
That's a
those
really long
feminists.
show.
What he said,
No.
it's not rape if you don't if you enjoy it.
Right.
Oh, I do enjoy it. One of the feminists.
Well, what? Maybe somebody can help me with this. What's that law? You know, we've got all these law, Murphy's Law, whatever. There is a law that if there's something that exists, there is a porn parody of it, right?
Yeah, I know
What
the
is
law
that called?
Would you call it Occam's Razor?
Occam's Razor?
Occam's Razor.
No, it's not Occam's Razor. That's the simplest explanation. Is the most
Yes,
likely.
I always get mine confused.
But
just
there's
throwing that out
some
there.
kind of term.
You did
We're
say
a bunch of
Arkham's
fucking
Razor.
midwits here.
You've been playing Batman too much.
There is a term for that. You know, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, there's
video
porn
games
about
more than I
that.
go to
Oh,
the
you can
library.
name anything, right? So, maybe not yet because Covington was only like a month ago or so, but undoubtedly there will be somewhere a porn recreation
That's
of
not
the
the-
Covington incident where the Native American gets his drum
Yeah,
and
he-
starts like shoving it up some kid's ass.
He's beating
and
more
then,
than
like,
a
you know,
he's beating more than a drum.
I think,
Right.
well, you could go full spectrum with it. You can go with the black Hebrew Israelites. You can go with the native guy, and then you can go with the feminist girls that like. Remember, the kid says, "If it's not rape, if you don't enjoy, you know, you could have all these people
could
fucking
yeah,
each other,
yeah, yeah.
and it'll work."
college frat boys get anally raped by a Native American tribe, or what the fuck? Where are we going with this?
That's
podcast?
clearly the
This is-
FCC messaging.
You know what? I
right
better
now.
stop. And
I want you to keep going.
this is
I
gonna
don't want you
go-
to stop.
yeah.
All right. So we're sick. We're middle-aged.
I
weirdos.
literally am sick. I have a head cold, so that's what I'm going to blame every weird thing that comes out of my mouth on. The fact that
I
I'm on
appreciate
drugs.
you coming around us sick, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted to have my microphone.
Rule
and
34.
not share with anyone else because I'm courteous.
Rule 34.
Rule 34. That's
I promise
the,
you, if you get me
okay.
sick, I'm going to bitch
If
about
you can
it on
imagine
next week's
it,
podcast.
it exists as internet porn.
Okay, well, there we go.
keep my
Let's.
immune system up to
Somebody
pace.
out there in the world of the interwebs, please find me on Pornhub, YouPorn, any of those fucking sites. There's a Covington video out there somewhere, and I want to see it.
He just gave.
I gotta
he
go
just
pee.
Jacked
What-
his inner
what-
thigh.
Woodley's actually getting back down. This is really unexpected.
Nigerian nightmare.
I think you were abnormally prophetic there.
Yeah, I'm not
Pine.
going to predict like rounds or how or anything. I'm just going to say he's going to lose.
Well, because when you beat everybody because you're big and black, what happens when you fight someone that's bigger and blacker?
You go to prison. That's America.
I'm going to say Usman, third round by flash kick like Guile does in Street Fighter.
Now,
Flash
what-
kick.
Woodley has a lot of explosion, but people seem to forget a couple things about Woodley. Like, he's unbeatable. He's the greatest ever. Jake Shields beat him.
Did he?
Yes.
He doesn't have any losses.
Did he really?
Yeah, he does.
No, I think it said no losses in UFC. He has one no contest.
Was it? I thought Jake Shields beat him.
No, it said no losses. It says whatever his
sounds
record is
so-
in O and one no contest. I'm pretty sure. No,
I'm gonna edit
hold
it
on.
out.
Hold on.
Sounds so impressive.
Hold on.
I'm gonna
I
edit
wait.
it out when I'm wrong.
One second.
Every time I'm wrong, I'm editing
Oh
it
wait,
out.
you know what, Mike?
I'm like, you guys, I'm infallible. You guys are and I'm going to turn up the volume when you guys are wrong.
No, I'm sorry. It was me. That was Askren's record. I'm sorry. I got confused with the last fight. Askren is 18-0 with one no contest.
He's got a mega hat.
Oh, God. Colby's getting booed. Boo!
He thinks he should have had this fight.
He should have, actually.
Yeah.
You can think what you want of Colby. He earned this shot, and he said he could beat Tyquil. He calls him Tyquil because he's NyQuil. But I don't know if he could. But it would have been fun because them two legitimately hate each other.
Wasn't there an injury thing that kept him from the last fight, and that's why?
I don't know. I have no idea. I really don't. I don't know why.
I just imagined something that is probably not a porn.
Okay.
You went to the bathroom and came back and you imagined something.
Yes. Colby Covington
should be
fucks
good.
the Covington kids.
What? That's meta also. Huh? Isn't that what they call meta?
Yeah, I guess. I never really understood what
No.
meta means. That's a term that gets thrown out around. I'm going to be honest. I don't really know what I thought I knew what meta meant.
And just when you thought you knew, you were wrong.
Yes.
Yeah, I always.
It means what you think
Same
it
thing.
means.
Is it?
I don't even know how to explain.
Because
what I
now
think
I'm
it
thinking of
means.
metas as like superhumans.
No,
Well, yeah, I mean, in comic book world, yeah, meta's a superhuman, but meta in everything else is...
like meta is how to define it. Like
There's
when
always
something is self-referential or something like that, right? Isn't that
No,
somewhat?
it's called the cat's ass.
That's what I kind of thought. Yeah.
Yeah.
there's always some weird thing.
Like
that
if a
comes
show
out.
references itself in
Yeah,
some.
that's exactly
off
what
the-
the. Yeah, no, you basically said it. So referring to itself or the conventions
Well,
of its genre,
it
self-referential.
looks
Right.
like homeboy Askren's going to have to
Okay,
defend
so
his
where
buddy.
did that come into the conversation just now? Meta what?
We're talking about
Covington.
Covington.
Yeah, okay. In
I don't know if it is or
really
not.
weird way, maybe. It's self-referential.
I just want to throw out the word
guys,
meta.
Woodley
I
is
didn't know if it
getting
worked.
the shit beat
He's
out
getting
of him,
fucked up pretty
really.
bad. He's gushing blood, too, now. He took a headbutt just now.
I'm not watching the fight,
What is
but
that
it looks
shit,
like
like
Tyron
bubblegum?
Woodley
What is
is
that?
losing.
Well, what is that scent?
Smells like Frank's
of
over here
a
smoking
woman.
Glade air fresheners.
That's what I thought.
Scent of a woman.
What the fuck are you smoking? That smells like fucking Glade, like you said. Are you trying to get me huff?
I have a cold and I can still smell that.
Are you
shit.
smoking potpourri over there?
All right. So Woodley's really fucked in bad position here.
Yeah.
Called Queen
Full
Kingston.
mount with a fucking
Queen what?
Queen Kingston.
I'm gonna roll the dice and say
I swear to
he's gonna
God,
lose this
I thought
fight.
you said Queen Pink Stink. Queen Pink Stink.
Queen Pink Stink.
with a dash of menthol.
Wow.
Oh, he's getting fucking piled
Tyron,
on.
you know all those people that said that like Colby would never have a chance against Tyron?
Yeah.
Colby's a way better wrestler than Kimura there.
The Nigerian Nightmare.
Yeah, like way better.
If he finishes him with a Kimura, is it a Kimura? Kimura? What's the move called? The maneuver.
You know what? We'll just go with it.
The Snap City.
What if Kamara beats him with the Kimura?
That's meta.
Is it? Okay.
That's
Is that your dog making that noise?
So we're watching this fight here, and it is pretty one-sided. I didn't see this happening at all.
I predicted it.
An actual...
You had a clear 50-50 shot of being right.
Yeah. I don't know. So I didn't know. I didn't
We're
know.
not talking about you.
Pine called it. Pine called this. I did not
It's
see
not
this.
about you, Morgoth.
I'm not Morgoth.
Oh,
You
look
said
at his
Morgoth.
look at Woodley's eyes completely swollen up.
His beady eyes.
His right eye is really puffed.
His right beady little eye.
Well, not his eyeball. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at that man. He is controlling this fight.
He's a specimen.
He's a specimen.
He's an Avenger.
What?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Thing with Woodley, too, all that explosion, like the big muscles and everything, is he going to have anything left after getting smeared?
Is he bleeding from his eyeball?
That would be really cool.
Probably 45 minutes. Bobby's going to show up.
All right, that's fine.
Say that to Mike.
That's fine. We're watching a fight here.
I think that's plenty good time. We're kind of late. Well, whatever. I'm not going to get all.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're worried about something that there's nothing to be worried about.
No, this is a free for all podcast
beating.
right now. This is, I think, we started this after at least two or how many of us are here? 4. I was
doing a
already
large number
started
of
to get
stones.
in the bag. Usually, it's over. Is it over?
No, end of the round.
Round's over.
Round's over.
Oh, it's over.
So usually when we start these things, I have not had any
there it
drinks
is.
yet.
Oh,
That's where it did it.
solid.
He
That's what
rocks
set
him, too.
everything up.
Dude, that's a solid elbow.
Yeah, dude, Woodley's getting fucking smashed.
Going
in
to
this
make it,
fight.
my bitch. Do you know the way?
Okay, so there was rumors that I didn't believe, and I thought they were just rumors, that Woodley and everybody around him said that every time that him and Askren ever rolled, Askren just mushed him. I can't see a problem with that now.
It's absolutely believable now, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Because Usman's background is not wrestling, or it might be.
No, it is. It is.
But he's not an Askren type.
Askren will kill Usman at wrestling. There's no doubt.
But Usman is killing Woodley, so.
Well, the thing, like people like Colby wouldn't have a chance, and I'm looking at this. I'm like, dude, Colby ragdolls people really bad. But the thing is, when Askren fights Colby, it's Trump supporter versus Trump supporter.
Can't have this.
It's going to be a hard thing.
Can't have it.
But but Askren's more of a libertarian, actually. Right
Woodley,
hand.
you can't count Woodley out. He's
Not with that
still
right
got-
hand like that,
No,
no.
he's still
He
got
could very well
mega,
starch him.
Yeah, he's still got mega power.
Mega.
Mega
Fast
power.
twitch, fast twitch muscle fibers. Boom. Right hand. You can hear.
You get who's that?
It's
Who's
his
that?
mother.
It's
It's
his
actual mother.
You can hear a female in the background. Go, go,
Dude,
go,
those are
go.
solid rib shots.
And he
Man,
is not,
he's just
now
wailing
it's
on his
those are-
ribs.
he is
Solid
getting
He's not
rib
reacting
shots.
to them.
Dude.
That was a lot of body shots, and I'll tell you something. When people discount body shots, everybody that is like a non-fighter, which I'm going to make it sound like I'm a fucking fighter now.
Everybody that hasn't been in there like we have.
They haven't been in this shit.
But people that don't really follow shit, you know what I mean? Like they don't look at body shots. People don't understand how damaging that shit is.
I mean,
Leg
watching
kicks,
that took 10 years
body
off my
shots.
life.
I mean, fuck. Dude, that takes a lot out of you. Foot
foot
stomps,
stomps.
man. I haven't seen that since Chris Lieben, since Marco Huas.
That man wants to win.
Those are just irritating more than anything. Wow, we should this would be an instance where we would do a video feed, right? We couldn't do it live because we get taken down. But we're doing a lot of commentary on these fights. And those that are listening right now are probably, unless you're a mixed martial arts fan or a UFC fan, you're going to be bored to tears throughout some of this. And I don't know if, but hey, we're still talking about cock and balls and people getting raped and stuff.
Yeah.
So
We're talking about butthole diarrhea fingering.
Yeah. We're trying to keep it entertaining for everybody out there. This is good old all-around family entertainment.
Road cones.
It's bring the kids.
Queen
So,
Pink Stink.
It's not all about this violent Neanderthal stuff. We like to talk about a wide array of subjects here on the Radio Underground. Now we're getting more body shots from both men.
But
Yeah, one is
Usman's
clear.
winning that
Now,
advancing stat.
But I will say that the fight is still competitive. It's still Guzman's still in the lead here, obviously. But
Did you call him Guzman?
Guzman, yes,
Usman.
Gusman,
No,
Gusman,
Guzman. No, it's just a U. U-S-M-A-N. Usman.
Yeah, that is a Nigerian name.
You're seeing the number 2
Tomorrow
next to his name.
yes.
He's ranked number 2.
Well, from my angle, ladies and gentlemen, this is an LCD TV, which is inferior to plasma.
This
which,
motherfucker
I can't
right
see
here.
the angle.
I
on
won
so-
it at our Christmas party.
Hey, well, somebody won something. So anyway,
Somebody
we're
had
going to
to
get
win
into
it.
where we work because I don't want anybody coming after us. But
Wait, is this LCD or
That's why I
LED?
just said Christmas party.
Right. So I always maintain that plasmas are superior, and I don't know why they went out of fucking business. That's like a Betamax versus VHS thing to me.
Yeah.
I think plasma was the superior technology, the superior picture. Even my 1080p plasma TV
It's
from 2008 is still
bar-
better than
It's
a lot of the.
marketing.
But
Yep. So
don't you get like video burn and stuff? in your
No,
plasma?
that's
Plasma
the
you
myth.
do.
That is the myth that killed plasma.
It is not a myth. It's not a myth.
It is a myth.
It burns your TV
It was
quick.
It used to.
It still
the
does.
earliest fucking models. My TV is 12 years old, and I have no image.
Do you know why
None.
now it doesn't? It's because now they put that screensaver on there that pulls it out of there, so you don't
Right.
get that option.
You ca-
but in the early days, like you have,
exactly in the early days,
It
but
will
that's
sit there
what
and
killed
burn.
plasma. The early models that did give you image retention killed the fucking platform.
So the bottom line to it is, it still happens, but they got wise and put a screensaver on there to stop that from happening. But it still happens.
No,
with those.
well, what they did is they put technology in there that shifted every pixel around so that
Yeah.
you didn't get image retention. But my point still stands that the picture, the true black that a plasma can produce, the deep, rich colors are still superior. It's just perception is reality. And, perception was the plasma sucked and LCD's better, so now nobody wants a fucking plasma, so now we don't have fucking plasmas anymore.
Sorry.
Fuck you.
Yep, that is Zac Efron back there.
Fuck him too. What is it? Look at those two Chinese girls. They look like they're in that baby metal band. There are tinges of racism
it is
throughout
called.
this entire.
It is called K-pop.
No, I don't think he's talking about K-pop.
I'm talking about
no.
baby metal.
No, you better be.
He's talking about actual Korean. K-pop's Korean pop. He's talking about.
I'm talking
baby
about
metal.
Japanese. So Chinese, Japanese, Korean. Yes.
Do it. Say it, Matt.
Say what?
Don't say-
that I can't tell the difference.
It's all the same.
Well, here's the goddamn thing. Here's the goddamn truth of it. If you took a picture of an Irish guy, a British, like an English guy, and a fucking Welsh guy, could you tell the difference?
Yes.
Fuck you.
Clearly.
I kid
Who's
because,
wearing the skirt?
Well, there's an elongation of the jawline
God.
that happens. Well, but people from Wales actually have a little bit narrower eyes.
See, man.
We need.
I
to
don't
get-
know
We
that.
need to
If
get.
I was a minority, I could get away with saying that without any worry about it. But like Dave Chappelle said the exact same thing that I just said, but because... All right, I'm going to stop.
You're going. You're going.
We
right
need
to
to get
prison
a-
after this.
we need to get an
Don't-
anthropologist
don't
as
worry
a guest
about it.
on this.
I'm
and,
posting all of it.
The anthropologist can.
Well, no, nobody has said anything
Put it
racist
on-
on this
put it
fucking
on
podcast.
LinkedIn.
But and that's what I'll go to now. Everybody's so goddamn sensitive. Even if you just say the word black.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Whoa!
You didn't
slow
say
down.
African American.
Slow down,
You said
you
black
guys.
guy.
Did you see that stat through 3 rounds? Woodley has taken 120 body shots.
Oh my! Oh, I believe it.
Jesus.
Just body shots. The other shots, there was another 40 shots.
The body punishment. The body punishment. That's what
Damn,
he
that
just said.
dude's an attack dog.
So yeah, look, it is difficult to tell the difference between English and Irish
You're gonna
and
let it go. It
is.
Japanese and Korean for me.
Oh. Nope.
Oh, he slipped.
I thought Woodley was going to pull it out there. Not as, pull out the win is what I meant. That sounded
Pull out
wrong.
the what?
Pull out the win.
I thought you said ween.
No. That was another. Remember the band Ween?
Yes.
Oh God.
I don't think I've listened to any of their music ever, but I always thought that was a funny name for a band. Ween.
I don't remember. Maybe it was
I'm
Alternative
gonna pull
Nation.
out my ween.
It's whatever MTV show was on later at night and it played all kinds of weird stuff. I heard it
Yeah.
on that.
Liquid Television. No, that was
Alternative
Beavis and Butthead.
Nation.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Not 120 minutes. Maybe it was 120 minutes.
Those were the good old days. I will say, you know what? The best days of TV, not YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, and all that shit, but TV was the mid-'90s. Snick, Liquid Television,
Yep.
all that shit, dude. Those were the heydays of and hey, what?
I'm just saying I wish I could relate, but I was I was doing bad things.
I was doing bad things too, like watching Beavis and Butthead.
See, I didn't
Setting
get.
shit on fire
I
because
didn't-
Beavis and Butthead said fire, fire, fire. So I thought that's what. And I don't think it's a coincidence that when Beavis and Butthead were at their peak saying fire, 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 that was also the time that Varg Vikernes was fucking burning down churches and shit. Which,
Are you
by
saying
the
there's
way,
a correlation between the two?
yes, I do. I think there is a correlation. I think that AC and DC and Metallica, AC and DC and Metallica were getting all the credit for fucking setting shit on fire. And the Norwegians decided to not let the Americans get all the... Well, wait, no, AC/DC is Australian.
Yeah.
Or Scottish.
Hey, I was
at
trying to
best.
fucking connect some fucking dots.
Do you know the way?
Huh?
Do you know the way?
No, I don't. I don't know where I'm fucking going with any of this. I'm just trying to talk about shit other than this fight.
See, yeah, I didn't get a lot of the
Usman's
mid-'90s
controlling
TV
him
because we
entirely.
didn't get cable till 96.
What?
Yeah, no joke. We didn't have cable till
You
96.
didn't. That's the truth.
No.
What the hell?
We didn't have it. We just watched regular TV.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You have one of those
watch
little,
Magnum PI.
those little panels that
Well,
look like
Magnum
half an
PI was on
accordion.
network television. I can watch it all the time if I wanted to.
What the hell?
And we have
People are
VCRs.
booing the fucking
Thrashing.
the beating.
He's hitting him with his shoulder. That's an.
Anywhere. Yeah, dude. The '90s were a really good time for.
Not that I did see that stuff. I didn't have cable myself. I would see it at other people's houses.
dude, Ren and Stimpy.
But-
Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, get the.
No, I saw it, like I said, but it wasn't at my house.
Back in the day, TV quality, the quality of the content you watched on TV had to be to a certain standard. Nowadays, who gives a shit? I mean,
I
Like
think,
the Adventures of Pete and Pete.
I think today has the best quality TV shows that's
Well,
ever been out there. Period.
and you know what? You are correct in terms of like drama and shit. Like, dude, you talk about. I mean, Sopranos really started all that shit. But you talk about Breaking Bad, Westworld, Game of Thrones, like all these Netflix
The list
shows.
goes on.
Yeah, I mean, and now it is a golden
Letterkenny.
age. You are correct in terms of like
Letterkenny.
really high quality, fucking like film
dude,
level,
dude,
like
Woodley's
Hollywood
getting
level.
beat up bad.
you put up one show.
He is. He's getting
today,
rocked.
And then you got like what?
well, a lot of those missed, but
Right. No, you are right. You are right. No, so I'm going to retract everything I said.
Marty.
And I'll concede to everything you
Oh.
just said. You are correct.
He's still
Because
fighting, though.
Really, if you want to talk about like fantasy, like sword play and all that shit, the
It's
best
incredible.
you got back in the '90s was Kevin Sorbo and Xena the Warrior.
Yeah,
fucking
I know.
princess. And now you got fucking
Kevin
George Martin's Game of
Sorbo.
Thrones. You going to compare the fucking two? No, I will backtrack everything I just said and say Kojak is correct 100%. But I will still maintain the Beavis and Butthead and Ren and Stimpy are still better than anything that's come out on fucking YouTube of that ilk.
Pretty groundbreaking.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
remember when they?
MTV was the shit back in the day. That I guess what I'm getting.
Do you
at.
remember when they made new Ren and Stimpy's?
Yeah, that sucks.
It sucked so
Yeah.
bad. Oh my god, the new Beavis and Buttheads were okay, but they still
One
went
thing about
same.
MTV, they allowed like creativity with directors.
They did.
Yeah,
They were like, here
they
you go.
used to.
Do what you want.
They used
Well,
to.
used to, yeah, but
Yeah, they don't do that no more.
Like you
now
said,
it's all reality TV bullshit.
Like
That's what they
some of the
did for
cartoons they
years.
had. I didn't watch Eon Flux, but other people I knew did, and it was imaginative. It was
That
new
was
stuff.
fucked up.
Flux
I
was good.
watched it.
The
yeah.
Max, bunch of that
The
stuff.
Max. Fuck. The Max was so fucking
Or
great.
even the
and
comedy
there's
show.
nothing like that. There was nothing like that before. There's nothing been since. And it was just like a representation of the
Yeah.
comics.
Well, just to
in
narrow it down
television
a little bit
format.
here, about MTV, just directly MTV. So
Yeah.
Right.
back in the day, pretty innovative with a lot of shit they had. They gave directors, let them do what they want. Here you go, make a show. We'll put it on there because we're groundbreaking. So they got rid of music at that point. Their numbers went in the shitter.
Didn't get rid of it, but they
It wasn't
they
the same,
scaled
yeah.
it
Yeah,
back.
well, it went in the shitter. So then you start getting reality shows because now
reality
the
shows
older
ruined it.
market, which is us basically. We stopped watching MTV because they didn't have our fucking music. We didn't watch them anymore. So it got to TV shows. And what's the market they're targeting right now? The teeny market, the explorative 14, 15, 16-year-olds.
Yep.
And that's where they're making their bills. Because if they make a show right now, any kind of show, none of us are going to fucking watch on MTV. Just not gonna
Honestly,
happen.
I couldn't tell you what's on MTV.
Yeah, we
No
don't
clue.
watch it.
I have no idea.
They have to target a certain market, so we get this fucking garbage they have, which is the real world.
I was going to say, thanks to the Real World. They were the first one. They
was.
were the first reality show, other than Cops, if you want to count that. And that's what started
is
that
king.
fucking trend. Yeah, Cops is still good, but
but
the
that's the
whole
thing.
reality TV trend just
Real World
made everything
is literally
shit the bed.
25 years old. The
Yeah.
first is
It is. I
but
watched
they
the
had
first,
that
like,
stuff,
3
but they
seasons.
still showed the other stuff. They had some kind of middle ground. They would show all that stuff we liked, but they still had the reality stuff for other people. And then all of a sudden, once the reality started taking off, you lost all that
they
stuff.
listened to some moron exec that
Well-
said, "Hey, we're losing this market. We got to target this market." And there you have your teeny shows with
Yeah.
pregnant at 12 and had fucked my
God,
cousin.
who the
I-
fuck
whatever
watches that
I know.
shit?
It's crazy. Remember The State? Did you ever watch The State?
Oh, God, The State was
Yeah.
so phenomenal, dude.
I just remember,
never
was
seen
it
that. That was a
Louis,
good
the
show.
character Louis? I want to
I
dip my
haven't seen
balls
it.
in it.
Doug,
I use
what
that.
you're talking
I use that gif all the time.
I'm out of here.
I'm telling you,
What the
that's
hell is the state?
it was
The
a
State is
sketch show.
Reno 911.
Oh, I love Reno.
Okay, so all those actors that were on that show,
Yeah.
they were on the. They,
Thomas
it was,
Lennon.
It was
the
all
tall,
them.
yeah.
That was their
Ken
first
Reno.
sketch, skit, improv comedy
I gotta
show.
find
What's
it.
it?
Dude, it was so good.
I gotta
Was
find
Michael
it.
Ian Black on that
He
one? Or
was
was he on Viva?
absolutely
Oh,
he
yeah.
was.
I
Yeah.
fucking love
Because he was on Viva
911.
Variety too, which was on
Yeah.
Comedy Central. It was kind of the
Yep.
same people too.
I like the old school Canadian show Kids in the Hall too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't ever give that show credit. That show was fucking
great.
great.
Yep.
I think that it gets.
Dan,
it gets
you're a
some
girl
credit,
drink-
but
Towards the end, it
Dan,
wasn't.
you're a girl drink drunk.
Girls, yeah, that's right.
He brings the guy in the office and he looks at him and he says,
He created that stage.
he's like,
Dude, and I will tell you,
productivity's up.
that's an
Your
underrated
numbers are up.
movie.
We like everything about you. You're here on time. He goes, but we got to fire you. He's like, why? He's like, you're a girl drink drunk.
Girl drank drunk. But remember the movie, The Kids in the Hall? Was it Mind Candy? No. What the hell's the name of the movie? Remember they made a movie after the show ended.
Mind Candy.
It was it? I thought it was the name of the band with Rudy from 97.1.
Oh, you're right. No, it was Brain Candy.
Brain Candy, yes.
Yeah.
Brain Candy. They made a movie. That's an underrated movie because I laugh my ass off every time I see that movie. It's like, remember the chairman with the table? He's like,
Oh, yeah.
when are we going to get that large
Or the
table
kid
in
with
here? Or am I going to
cancer.
go out
Oh,
there
my
and cut
goodness,
the fucking
dude, that
tree
stuff
down
is
myself?
Brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Brutal. The fucking humor, though.
It was.
No, I feel like The State though is so Kids in the Hall. When you say Kids in the Hall, there's a good percentage of people that know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Even if they've never seen it, I've heard of that. The State.
No,
it's
nope.
not quite
Like,
as
Frank's
and
never
I
heard of
like
it.
that shit. I like that.
Yeah.
I follow that type
So-
of comedy.
Did it even make it to the second season? Was it only one season?
Oh no, I think it did. I think it made at least 2.
What am I thinking of?
But you know what?
Oh,
Dog Bites Man is one that came out maybe 10
seen that.
or
Oh,
12
yeah.
years ago.
For sure.
That's where Zach Galifianakis, as big as he is now, that was
Yeah.
the first
I like the
outside
like,
of stand up. That's the first time
the-
I had seen him,
the DJ frickin' with the
That was,
zipper.
up in them guts,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That was I was so pissed that show did not get it got one season. That was it.
Because I think there's a
And it
lot of
was
guys
in
that did the Upright Citizens Brigade
Exactly.
too. Yeah.
Yes.
which was a cool show.
And
Yeah.
and Zach Galifianakis that was his best role ever. Alan Finger.
Oh
It
my
was
God.
the best role he
Dude,
ever
I
had.
forgot about most of that stuff. Holy crap!
But so The State and
like your realization
Dog
going
Bites
on right
Man.
now.
I think I'm going to be
Look it
downloading
up,
something later.
People, look it up.
Oh my gosh.
Definitely have to check out the state. I haven't seen
The state
it.
was good.
Don't
Yeah.
do it for me. I'll check it out.
My favorite bit. I don't know. Maybe, let me just ask you and the rest of the audience. There was a skit that was a black screen, and this little Muppet hamburger popped into the middle of it, and then you had like the one dude's head pops in. Or no, what's the girl's name? That she was in Reno 911.
I know the tall, lanky lady.
Gee, I wonder where Bob is. Hey, how's it going, Teresa? Yay, I'm all right. Where have you been? I don't know. Let's order something from the menu. And it was the most stupid, nonsensical. And then the fucking, they're like, hey, I wonder where the waiter is. Hi, can I take your order? Hey, you can't talk to us like that. We want to see the manager. It was the most ridiculous. Jesus fucking Christ. It was the most ridiculous sound that I heard.
Yeah,
until
that's one
that.
you should check out.
Anyway, that probably sounded
But
really stupid.
you said like the little puppet or whatever came in.
Yeah.
It made me think of Syphil and Ollie.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
That
love
was,
Syphil and Ollie.
that was late 90s.
That was late 90s, yeah.
98,
But they were
maybe.
still doing stuff at the end of the 90s stuff
Yes.
that was still entertaining. And then
Yes.
turn of the century.
Bizarre acid trips.
And then, like, I don't know when it started. It was probably 2002 when TRL started. That was it. After that, Total Request Live.
TRL started way before 2000.
But when they rebooted it, and all of a sudden you started seeing the same people, and it got really, really popular. You're right. It started with Britney and all that stuff in 98, 99. But
Carson Daly.
Like, it got to the point where TRL was on for like 2 or 3 hours a day.
Yeah.
It was insane. Like, live on for 2 or 3 hours a day. From 3 o'clock till 6 o'clock. And that right there was, to me, that signaled the end of it because you weren't even seeing the music during a music show. You were just seeing people talking about music, and then you see a video.
Yeah.
But, oh
Missy
my God.
Elliott would pop up, then Limp Bizkit would pop up. 20 minutes between them of Carson Daly talking to some butt fuckers out in a fucking crowd of Times Square.
That was the era when you got to the point where you weren't seeing the music on MTV. You were seeing it on MTV2.
Exactly.
And MTV. At
Or
one point,
VH1 Classic.
VH1 Classics, or we had it when we were at the Duplex. It was it called MTV Rocks? It was another third channel.
Yeah.
And I remember what it was
They
called.
got ridiculous with the shit.
But that was the best channel. That one, they showed all kinds of random shit. There was no, like, loop. You weren't seeing this video now and 5 or 6 hours later. You seeing, like, we saw local bands on there, like Factory 81 and some of the other people on there. It was insane. The amount of stuff. Andrew WK we saw on that, and that was the first time we ever saw him.
Gotcha.
Bam. Out.
Woodley lost his fight.
Not out, but he got beat up.
He lost
He
his
got
fight.
beat up badly.
He owned him. They showed the control time, and it said literally 0.
So we're going to step into the John Jones, Anthony Smith thing.
I'm going to call it Anthony Smith wins.
No, I don't know, man. Usman, like, watch they still give it to...
I don't know. It's still too close to call.
Too close to call, you think?
No, they showed the control
Stranger
time.
things have happened.
After the fourth round, they showed the control time, and it literally said Woodley 0.00.
I legit, and I'm arguing with your brother, by the way, via text, and I love your brother to death. I think that Colby or Askren could do that to him. I mean, because Usman, he's a great wrestler, but I think it's the same thing. Like Askren and is a position guy.
He got an 8-point round one round. They had a 50-44.
Really?
Yeah. 2 of them did.
He owned him. He owned him bad.
Yep. Two of the judges gave.
It's not a sweater. It's a.
Looks like it's my size.
It's a wind. It's a wind pull of. Hey, he's in. I'm still talking. Are we still on? Are we still on the recording?
Yeah.
Oh, hey. So, 2 of the judges gave one of those rounds as an 8-point round for Woodley.
They did.
That's dope.
14-fight win streak.
Look at it. Adorable.
He did not
little
pull one
fucking
Kimura
kid.
in the whole fight.
Let's see what Usman has to say.
That was an entertaining
All right.
fight. For a manhandling, that was a pretty entertaining fight.
Now he's got the title. That was a title fight.
That was a title fight.
He beat Woodley.
He is the new champion.
So
see what it-
who's gonna? All right, how long before people start bitching about his language in front of that little adorable angel he's holding?
About three minutes.
No, it's already up. Watch.
It's already
Yeah.
already started, right?
If there's any
Someone's
kind
already.
of,
Well, how does he use that language and around that girl? And
it's his daughter. He can swear around her if he
All right.
wants.
You should hear the shit I say around my kid.
Yeah. And like your kid's probably way more impressionable. His daughter looks 4 or 5. Your kid's 3.
My kid's going to be 4,
Yeah. Okay, that's right.
all right.
But still,
but he is 3. Yes.
3-year-olds are the worst. They
Oh,
pick
you
up
should hear the shit that
most.
comes out of his mouth, repeating after what I say. Yes, I'm a piece of shit dad who says bad words around his child.
Or hitting pause.
Kamaru Usman just was it on?
No,
What did we just see?
I don't know what I've done.
I called him Gooseman, but that
I think the only thing that went well
The
was
Nigerian Nightmare.
The only thing that went well was the Jeffrey interview tonight.
The Kamaru.
Everything else I've done is
what are you
Usman.
talking about, dude? This has been great. I think this has been great content. It's all over the place. But there was something that I wanted to bring up, but I just can't remember what the hell it was.
Okay, my original idea for the show was it was about to be about. Oh my god, I'm drunk. How the console wars are over.
Yeah.
and I say they're over because Xbox Live is basically going to be on everything. We've talked about that before, but it's like really legit. Like they're really saying it. They want to go on.
Well, yeah.
The Xbox. You can play Xbox Live on your smart TV. What the fuck
The
ever.
CEO literally said, "Yeah, he'll still sell consoles, but he's not worried about sales anymore. He's worried about the software,
And-
the Xbox Live. They don't care if they sell."
Yep. And the Nintendo Switch, let's be honest, it's a fucking tablet. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's a tablet
with a dock.
Yeah, and then the PS4 is basically the only pure console left.
That's all they're focused on. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we got 3 different things. We got a tablet that will also be able to play Xbox Live on it.
We trying to
You got
salvage
Xbox
video
Live,
games.
but Xbox is still going to create powerful consoles for people who like to stream. Like if you're an Xbox,
Yeah.
so it's basically they all but said the reason we're going to create this Xbox console like real powerful is so you can still stream with it because you can't stream a stream. You know what I mean? Like
So really, it's each company playing to its strength.
So what
Yes.
about the
Absolutely,
casual
yeah.
player? How about the casual player?
PlayStation.
probably PlayStation.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no.
Xbox
Actually,
pretty-
right? You know, what? Xbox
is pretty
No,
casual.
Xbox streaming. Like if you get an Xbox Live Game Pass subscription.
It's
For $10 a month,
And they're talking
It's
about.
$1.
I don't
and
know.
you basically, well, it's not $1 a month anymore.
It's $10 a month.
It's
Well,
$10.
it's
$10
right now.
as
But right now
opposed-
it's $1.
But for $10
3
a month,
Wait.
you could play it on your Mac or your whatever.
What do you
Yeah.
mean right now it's $1?
It's right now. It's
It,
$1.
it's,
Right now,
For everyone, not
Yes.
just new subscribers?
No, it's everyone. It's $1 a month.
have you subscribed
it's
to
not.
before?
It's $10.
It's $10 after
It
your
was
first
$1
month.
last month
no,
when
first
I got
3
it.
months.
It was $1 last month.
It's okay. It switches $1, $10 for a couple months, and back to $1 to pull more subscribers. But it does. the
I
$1
know.
month.
I think it is just new subscribers though. So if you've had it before, you don't get that
they had
deal.
it before.
No,
It's
to
still
be
$1
fair,
for me.
they
really?
do
Okay.
they do honor the deal. Like if you're like say you're paying because I've been paying all along,
Yeah.
and it's $2. Sometimes it's $2. It was $2. They'll
It was
charge you-
$2 for 3 months,
It's
right?
$2 for me also, even though I've
Yeah.
had the subscription all along.
Well, that's a great deal. I want to know how I can get that because
You
they've
just
been
get-
charging me $10.
Go to your game store, cancel it, resign.
No, you're talking about Xbox Live, right? Your
No,
monthly
I'm talking
online
about
service.
You've had the
Pass.
Game Pass?
You have Game Pass where you play
I
100 games.
did. I canceled it.
Yeah,
because
no,
it
it's
was
a buck.
getting-
When
Oh
did you
yeah,
cancel
but
it?
they
I
run
don't remember.
deals,
I don't. Think
so they gave
that-
away 3 months for $2.
I don't think
Well, that's a
that
pretty sweet
matters.
deal because I know that PlayStation has a similar thing, but it's $20 a month.
Yeah.
The PlayStation.
That's how he's playing Crackdown, was on Game Pass.
PlayStation now is a worse service for more costs.
Yeah,
it's
and,
not.
and here's why it's
Just
worse
like-
service. Because, well, I guess in a way there is one thing that they do.
a
that,
few games that you really like.
Well, no, that you can play without actually downloading the game. You can literally stream it. Like
Well,
without
that's
downloading
what Game Pass is going to do.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be cloud based.
But I will say I dabbled in it because I got a week free and I tried it, and you can't do it with every game. You can't download every game. Only certain games can you actually download. Sonic Adventure, or well, no, not Sonic Adventure.
Sonic
it was
Mania?
Sonic Generations.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to stream that, and you don't have the option to actually download it. You have to stream it, and the quality is degraded.
Yeah.
Whereas some other games,
like my
you have the
women.
option as to you can stream it or you can download it and play
I
it
think
just
my
as you
man's in
can
the
with
wrong
like the
neck of
Game
the
Pass.
woods.
Yeah.
And when you do that, obviously the quality improves when you actually have the game downloaded on your fucking hard drive.
And as they advance their technology, what they've been working out, the X Cloud technology, I think it's
Yes.
called. That's going to be their cloud-based everything. So anything you want to stream is going to be, everything's going to be streamable, and it's going to be high quality. It's just, it's not here yet.
$20 versus what you guys are telling me now, $1 or $2.
That's just a special deal. That's not a permanent thing, though.
From all of what I've seen,
Either way, it's only $10.
they all three again, and it's still going to be a tough choice. They all three offer something cool that
Yeah.
might be unique to you specifically.
And don't get us wrong. The end of the console wars doesn't mean they're not going to make consoles anymore.
No,
it
no,
literally
no.
means
But what-
they don't. That it's not their.
There's no head-to-head.
It's not their priority now.
Yeah, exactly.
The priority is the software. Is
because
the technology.
Nintendo Switch, they're going to have Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Spencer went over to Japan and says, "We want to put our shit on your shit."
Yeah.
and they're like, "Okay, cool." I mean,
Shit on
because they
shit.
don't have to give it Xbox anything.
Yeah.
Xbox just wants that $10 a month,
and
they don't
not-
care where you do it. You could be on your Mac, you could be on your phone. They want that $10 a month.
And now that Bowser's in charge of Nintendo, I don't know if you guys saw that. Bowser, the new president. His name is literally last name is Bowser,
And
like Mario. Bowser.
another reason this may
Which is
have
real bad.
happened. This may be a conspiracy
but
theory.
he's all for it. He's one of the big proponents of having Xbox Live on their consoles.
Well, the head Xbox guy, Phil Spencer,
Yeah.
and the Bowser guy, the Nintendo in America, not Japan.
Yeah, Nintendo America. I
they're
should say
like
that.
the companies and all the people basically live in the same city, so they're probably just drinking together, making that deal. You're like how we are now. Like, you know what, man? We want to be on everything. We want to be on phones. Can we just be on your thing? Like, yeah, sure. Why-
Sign this contract. It's just a napkin, but still sign it.
I still like I've said before in past.
That's how everything gets done. It's hookers.
In
and
past
shit.
podcast is Nintendo really isn't a direct competitor to Sony or Microsoft because they're so outside the box. Like,
Yeah.
it's a totally different thing. Like the console wars is essentially Microsoft versus Sony.
I kind of disagree with that because they are eating into their market share like badly. They've sold 30 million Switches in the last year.
Right.
They're eating into both companies' sales.
But I feel like the people that own a Switch, either you were going to own a Switch and nothing
Yeah.
else.
It
or
wasn't like you decided
you're going to own a
between.
Switch and a PlayStation or an Xbox. Like,
Yeah,
it's,
you weren't going into it
they-
saying
I just want to point out that the Smiths and the Joneses are fighting right now.
the Smiths and the Jones. Yeah,
So, but my thing is like when Resident Evil comes out, it's not a debate as to whether you're going to get it on Switch or PlayStation or Switch
Okay.
or Xbox.
No, you're right there.
When Tomb Raider comes out, it's not a debate as you're going to get that for Sony or Microsoft. It's not. Switch exists with Super Smash Brothers and Mario or whatever. The
it's
fuck,
basically
you know?
for those specific IPs.
Right.
Yeah,
That's why you buy a Switch. So it's been Microsoft versus Sony, and it will continue to be until the
Yeah.
console wars end, which is what Deathspit is, basically claiming.
No.
we're reaching the end of that road. That these companies are going to branch off into, like I just mentioned, they're going to play to their strengths.
yeah.
Microsoft is going to play to the streaming services. Nintendo Switch is going to continue to do what they do. And Sony is going to continue to create, a console-based
Yeah.
deal.
yeah. I mean, look. When PlayStation came out, you had 30 when the 32-bit era came.
That's about
right?
how long it's going to go.
That was it was Super Nintendo versus Sega Genesis, right? In the early 90s.
Yeah, the 16-bit
It was
consoles.
the 16-bit console wars was Nintendo versus Sega.
Yes.
That was it. TurboGrafx 16, all that, Neo Geo, none of that was really relevant.
TurboGrafx 16 was awesome too.
It was
That's why I
great and all that, but it really didn't matter ultimately.
it was.
It was between SNES versus Genesis.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And then when we got to the next gen, it was PlayStation versus Sega. Saturn, 32X, who won that war?
Yeah,
it wasn't
no,
even
there wasn't a
fucking
war.
close.
No.
It was domination. And then Nintendo...
Sega Saturn made everything really hard to freaking develop for.
Right, but
Really
Sega,
bad.
there are YouTube. You can go look up some really
That's not an
interesting
excuse, that's just what
videos on
happened.
Sega Saturn and what happened with that console. Now, I happen to still own a Sega Saturn. I was actually partial to that console because I was a fighting game guy and I like the 2D games. And there are a lot of things about the Saturn that are underrated that actually were superior to the PlayStation. But that wasn't where the future was going.
No.
The future was going to 3D, not 2D. So Sony dominated that fucking war. Then, of course, the Nintendo 64 came around, and it was like kind of that guy who was late to the party. Now, granted, N64 did great when you look back on like Turok and fucking like Mario
GoldenEye.
and Ocarina of Time and all that. There was a lot of great N64 games, but ultimately, that generation was won by PlayStation.
Yeah, I would
To me.
agree.
So you had a 64-bit system competing with two 32-bit systems. It was like the N64 was like that odd. It was like a mid-generation console. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but when Sony first introduced the PlayStation and when they first won the console war, that was when they became a key player. And then PS2 came out, and then what was the PS2's competitors? We had Xbox,
The
original
when it was
Xbox,
first
yeah.
launched, and the GameCube. Now, the GameCube, I think, was the first like
Is that your
that
cat?
was the big loss that
killed
Nintendo
something?
took. I feel like
I thought a lot of people loved the GameCube.
a lot. I'm one of them.
Yeah.
I still have my GameCube. I still love it. But Sony won 2 generations in a row.
Yeah.
They with the Sony PlayStation beat out the Saturn, and kind of beat out the N64.
Yeah.
And then the next gen, when it was the PS2, Dreamcast versus Xbox and GameCube, if you even want to count the Dreamcast, that was Sega tapping out, really.
Yeah, it really was. They should have been a software company at that point.
That was what killed them, all right? So you're comparing PS2 versus Xbox versus GameCube. Now, again, Sony, they were the Dreamcast was first, PlayStation 2 was second, then I forget which between the Xbox and the GameCube, I forget who took first, but Sony dominated that fucking generation as well. Okay,
Yep.
they did.
Didn't the PS2 have like the most sold console ever? Because it just basically everybody had it for like a fucking DVD player and everything.
Yes,
Most
and
people
they
did.
continued to create games long after Microsoft
Like
and Nintendo stopped.
They had a music maker and all that.
Yeah.
all of it. So now Xbox
I
was the
wasn't
most.
playing. I wasn't even playing by
Yeah.
then.
The appeal of
that
the
time.
Xbox was that it was the most powerful of the three.
Yes.
Between the GameCube, the PS2, and the Xbox, Microsoft
It was
had
also
the
the most expensive at the time, right?
It was. It was the most powerful console. It was the most expensive console. It did pretty well. Fuck that. Fuck that. Turn your fucking ringer off. God damn it. I know we're in your house, but shit. Anyway, so Sony it didn't have the most power. Actually, the PS2 was weaker than the GameCube and the Xbox, but it still won the war because it had longevity and it had third-party support.
It had stoners who bought it and played Twisted Metal.
And exactly. So and really the next gen after that is when we had the 360 versus the PS3, which was I think the first round of the war that Microsoft stole.
Yeah.
And then you had the Wii. Actually, I would say the 360 and the Wii were both superior to the PS3. That was when Sony took a hit. And this is just off of my own opinion.
Yeah, I
without
honestly-
researching anything.
I don't know any stats, honestly.
But I would say that was when Nintendo really established themselves as, okay, we are something. We're not going to get involved in this. We're gonna separate ourselves from these two companies.
That's
And
when
we're
they
gonna let
started
them duke
becoming
it out.
a niche market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and they were very successful in that. And Microsoft really took the crown when it came to 360 versus PS3. Third-party support wasn't in Sony's favor so much. In fact, I would argue that it was in Microsoft's favor when you have companies like Valve and just the Microsoft Studios. Fable was in its fucking
Yep.
peak.
Yep.
All the games that I cared about, which was the reason that I transitioned to Xbox One first. That all changed when we got back to Xbox One versus PS4. like I don't think there's much debate. Now I know that I'm a lonely guy in the room here who's the PS4 guy over the Xbox One guy,
Yeah.
even though I've only had the console in my ownership for like a very short time. It's pretty inarguable that the third-party support, the PS4 is a much more popular system.
If I'm not
than
mistaken,
the
sales
Xbox
are like
One.
2 to 1.
Yeah, it's not even.
It's like 2.5 to 1, really.
It's insane.
I think that Microsoft has realized that their strength is more in their service. We talked about that a couple podcasts ago. It's more in their online platform than in the console itself. So they're going to play to their strength. They're going to be a streaming service. That's great. More power to them. Nintendo's going to continue to do their thing, and Sony's going to do more of the same, which is continue to create great consoles that make it easy for the general public to play great games.
Yeah.
Right? Because other than that, you have PC guys, and that's a
let's
niche
not get
thing
into
in
them.
itself. That's a whole different beast.
Those people.
So I think I've rated long enough about
No,
it.
you're absolutely right. It's Microsoft is first and foremost a software company. Always has been. They built a console to show off their software. Nintendo's a niche market. They have plenty of interesting titles. They have, you say, Mario. They have access to some of the Sega IPs, Sonic. They can do stuff with that. It's a niche market, though. And Sony, from the very beginning, not just consoles, but even before that, they made movies. They made music. They are an entertainment company. They've always created brand new, entertaining content, and it's translated to their console. So it's. I like that everybody's kind of playing to their strengths now. It's what they needed to do. So it's like back in the day, Sega, when they should have thrown in a towel 2 consoles before, didn't, kept on putting out stuff. They should have been a software company and developed good games for these other consoles, and they just wouldn't do it.
Sega always shined in the arcade.
Yeah.
Super GT, Daytona USA, Virtua Fighter, they were always great in the arcade. Didn't translate so well into their consoles after the Genesis. They tried a lot of shit. Sega CD, 32X, you can't take it away from Sega, but they were constantly trying.
They were.
They were just a little too hasty in a lot of instances. I still maintain that the Sega CD was a very important deal. Like, I mean, you look back on it today and laugh because of how bad it looked. It was really grainy and all that, but like there was nothing like it at the time if you weren't on the PC. You know, obviously PC CD-ROM,
for sure,
outshined the Sega CD. But for people who were like, back then in the early mid '90s, not everybody had a fucking like computer like that was worth a shit. So, it was a good way to introduce people to that type of technology. And then the 32X, I thought kind of shit the bed, but I thought the Sega Saturn still, that was an engine that was designed to recreate all those arcade hits, and I still think it did a fantastic job. It was just a little too late, and they were sticking with that 2D technology that was kind of going by the wayside when you had games like Tekken and Virtua Fighter and all that. Even though Virtua Fighter was a Sega game, their console didn't perform as well in recreating that technology.
Yeah, it wasn't like the arcade version we all.
But
Sony
and all their developers and stuff, they had Twisted Metal, Crash Bandicoot, like all these titles that really they were and even the platformers like Abe's Odyssey, Oddworld, whatever the fuck it was. Sony just had the more they just had the third party support. They had. And games like Resident Evil, which I'll always go back to, they were way ahead of Sega. And Nintendo at the time.
I think Sega overstayed their welcome in terms of consoles by about 10 years, roughly. Because when was Dreamcast? Early 2000s?
1999.
Was it really? Wow, I thought it was later.
99.
So maybe a few years. And
the day it was released.
They're really lucky because they could have ended up like Atari, because Atari kept on trying to make new stuff.
Yeah.
And they should have just devoted their whole company to software, making games for other consoles. And
I don't know how.
Jaguar was a flop.
And then a Jaguar. They kept on, oh my God.
Flopped bad.
Dreamcast made a huge fanboy niche too, man. They had a whole.
Well, there's a few people I know that love it.
Yeah.
Stones is one of them. Chris.
There's people called. There's people,
not Dreamcast, Saturn.
Oh,
there's people called. There's like a pretty famous YouTuber called Dreamcast Guy. It's his favorite thing ever. But he's a PlayStation guy mostly now. But back then, obviously,
our friend Chris is a big.
For sure.
Chris had every. I think he still does to this day. Still has every console he ever owned.
My argument would be like, okay, so when
But he loved the
PlayStation-
Dreamcast,
when PlayStation 2 came out, there was nothing.
if I'm not mistaken.
There was nothing that the Sega Dreamcast could do that the PlayStation 2 couldn't. There was a lot that the PlayStation 2 could do that the Dreamcast couldn't. Now, when it comes to Sega Saturn versus Sony PlayStation 1, that's a different story. The 2D titles, the fighters, the Japanese games,
There's some
Sony
good
had
racing games,
dick
too.
on Sega. When it came to like all the Street Fighter games that I love, Street Fighter Alpha, Alpha 2, X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Sony's sucked. Their engine was not designed to handle that 2D type of platformer or fighting game. The Sega could. The Saturn could. But the Sega Saturn didn't have the good audio. It didn't have the good 3D technology that Sony had, and that was the future. And that's what separated Sony PlayStation from even N64. Granted, N64 was a more powerful system. It could handle like certain things that the PlayStation couldn't. But the audio was still, it was cartridge based, so there was still like, you couldn't get movie sequences, you couldn't get the great audio. There were still limitations on that N64 cartridge-based system that Sony just had the edge on. So Sony had the edge on both Sega and Nintendo in different respects.
And that's another quick, kind of a side question. Do you think that still hinders Nintendo a little bit because they're still a cartridge-based console?
Well, it's
Are they? Is the Switch a cartridge?
You should see these things. They're like
I
micro
haven't
SD
either.
cards.
they're
with
just
They look like a micro SD card.
they
basically.
are an SD card.
Yeah.
That's basically all it is.
Yeah,
it's an SD
but
card.
that's a little bit different. Like today's technology works differently. You know, you don't need to scan a disc.
I shouldn't
At the
say
time,
hinder
though,
because
Chest kit.
obviously they're still selling hand over foot. I mean, it hasn't hurt them. But do you think maybe it's kind of hindered as far as what they can do with some of their games?
I personally have no comment because I don't have any experience with Nintendo since the game.
And I know your play is limited. Mine is too. My kids play it more than anything.
Yeah, I play. Well, I play on the Switch a few hours a week, but it's all the fucking old shit, like that app.
That's what I do. Yeah,
It's the app that has the Super Mario Brothers 1, 2, and 3, and,
Master Blaster
and all that shit. Yeah, that's what I play. But whatever.
Kung Fu. So yeah, yes, the console wars are over
Because they're not direct competitors
because they don't
They're-
care now.
Yeah, they're doing different things.
Yeah.
Entirely.
So
It's not. It's PS4 clearly sold more than everyone.
Yeah,
Switch caught up to Xbox pretty much by now in 3 years. Xbox just didn't. They just didn't hit it this year.
I keep on looking at your phone like it's mine, and it's not.
Yeah. So.
So to answer your question from earlier, are the console wars over?
I
Yes.
think they are. Yes. Absolutely.
Now, kind of another side question to that. Obviously, Sony won the console wars. If we're looking at right now,
right now, absolutely.
Is it because of the exclusivity that they have, the games, the exclusive?
I
games
just
they-
think it's the worldwide appeal.
Yeah.
Because
it's so much simpler.
Xbox can't. Well, Xbox doesn't sell in Asia. You know.
PlayStation it placated to a certain community.
Yeah,
The world.
yeah,
Yeah, well,
the world community. Yes,
yeah. Well, it captured an older genre, and just certain types of people enjoy PlayStation.
Well, and I think it played to what you guys have talked about for a couple weeks now. It's if somebody's going to buy a console right now, they just want to plug it in and play it. The easier one to do is the PlayStation 4, PS4, and that's what they cater to.
And they got more third party support.
That's what we're talking about. Did the exclusives put them over the top?
When it was PS3 versus Xbox 360, you did have the Naughty Dog titles. That was about it. You had The Last of Us, which was one title toward the end of that fucking console's life. You had the Uncharted series. But for Microsoft, you had Gears of War, you had Halo, you had all the Valve titles,
The Fable.
you had Fable,
Yep.
you had a lot of titles.
Halo's
And so
a big deal.
Microsoft took that round. They had
because of-
they
yeah.
had a more powerful system in the PS2 versus Xbox original generation, but they just didn't have the market. They didn't have the third party support yet. They got it when the 360 came out.
Yeah.
So when it was Xbox 360 versus PS3, I think Xbox. I think it's pretty inarguable that Microsoft took that round of the war.
I agree.
This generation, it was pretty decidedly PS4. They had the more powerful system on top of it when it came to the original systems. Now, granted, Xbox One X is more powerful than the PS4 Pro, but the original
Day one.
Day one consoles, no argument. It's pretty much PS4.
It's like I'm trying to think of what exclusives Microsoft even has left besides Gears of War and Halo.
That's about it.
So yeah,
State of Decay and some Sea of Thieves and
Yeah,
that shit, but nobody
I guess.
really cares about that shit.
I don't care.
It's not. Those are not on the level of an Uncharted or a God of War or a Last of Us.
God of War
or
is the
any of
greatest
that
game
shit.
that's ever made.
I was going to say nice save, but it was already empty. So
Mike's question was, are the console wars over? Answer's yes.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with but I'm only hearing all this secondhand. I haven't read about any of this stuff.
No, I mean it's all stuff we believe me. Yeah, this is all stuff they had talked about. So yes, console wars are over.
They are definitely over. I say with that, we probably should kill this because there's really nothing else to be said.
Yeah, we're about to kill this pizza. And
we're about to eat a pizza. And we're
I
watching
want
fights.
the last damn word.
All right, Kojak, go.
Morgan sucks. He will not beat me still at any video game. It's just not going to happen.
We'll see.
Oh man,
We will see.
No, we
Radio
won't.
Underground, and we're out.
Recorded in the pits of Detroit, Michigan. Your ass is listening to